Chapter 1242. Chapter 1240. Tang and Feng's phone. Tang Yin asked a bunch of questions at once, showing how worried she was. Xiao Xiao and I are fine, don't worry. We're on the way home. And I'm planning to let Xiao Xiao stay with Yao Yao for a while. One, it's for her safety, and the other is for her illness. If she suddenly gets sick, I'll be able to take care of her. Linny said. Oh, let Xiao Xiao stay with you? That's a good idea. Tang Yin wasn't jealous, but rather happy. You're right. If Xiao Xiao gets sick again, you'll be able to help her quickly. Haha, I knew you'd think too much. Linny breathed out in relief. Tang Yin's understanding was out of Lin Yi's expectations. Was this still the stubborn girl who argued with Ming Yao at Fatty Lai's place? What's there to think? Don't think of me as a petty person. Tang Yin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You're driving, right? Give the phone to Xiao Xiao, I'll talk to her. Okay. Linny said as he passed the phone to Xiao Xiao. Linny was someone who had undergone strict training. Even masters of the same level couldn't compare to him. Linny could multitask very well, like driving and talking on the phone. It was a dangerous move for other people, but it was nothing to Lin Yi. Xiao Xiao had been eavesdropping on their conversation the whole time, and the car was very quiet. She could hear everything Tang Yin was saying, and she couldn't help but feel grateful towards Tang Yin. Sometimes, Xiao Xiao would think that the heavens really cared for her, letting her find a boyfriend who loved and cared for her so much before she died, and even let her and his girlfriend become best friends. Tang Yin's concern came from the bottom of her heart, and it wasn't fake at all. Xiao Xiao could tell that apart. Thank you for caring about me, Yin sis. I'm sorry for making you worry, but I'm fine. Xiao Xiao said gratefully. There's no need to thank me between us sisters. Tang Yin smiled and said, as long as you're safe, I'm relieved. Yeah, I knew you're the best, Yin sis. The other wives would probably want the second wife to die too. Xiao Xiao giggled. You're spouting nonsense again. What death? With Linny around, you won't die. Tang Yin suddenly lowered her voice. Right, Xiao Xiao. I have a mission for you when you go to Yao Yao and Shu's place. Oh, what? Xiao Xiao didn't get to finish before Tang Yin cut her off. Don't make a sound, don't let Linny hear. Tang Yin quickly reminded. Oh, Xiao Xiao replied, curious at the same time. Just what kind of mission was Tang Yin giving her? And carry Linny? Could it be that she wanted to assassinate Ming Yao and Yushu? It couldn't be, right? Xiao Xiao was shocked by her own bold idea. She knew that Ming Yao and Yushu were interested in Lin Yi, and Tang Yin could tell as well. Could it be that Tang Yin sis was jealous and wanted to get rid of them? But that shouldn't be the case. Tang Yin sis wasn't that kind of person. Xiao Xiao, when you get to Yao Yao's place, help me keep an eye on Lin Yi, Yao Yao and Shu. See if they're related or not. Tang Yin said, a little embarrassed. I'm not suspecting anything, I'm just curious. Shu told me that Lin Yi and Yao Yao are related, and I don't really believe it. I just want to confirm it. If you don't like it, then forget it. Tang Yin didn't feel too good after saying that. Why did it feel like she had a spy by Lin Yi's side? Falling in love with Lin Yi meant trusting him. How could she just suspect him? But Tang Yin was really curious. Lin Yi had been living in the Chu villa for so long. Was there really nothing going on between him, Ming Yao, and Yushu? Of course. Tang Yin just wanted to confirm it. If there was, then there was. If there wasn't, then there wasn't. Even if she found something, she wouldn't say anything to Lin Yi or Ming Yao or Yushu. Tang Yin had said that it was a fair competition, and since they were good friends, if Ming Yao and Yushu really did have something going on with Lin Yi, it would only mean that they were stronger than her. Tang Yin would also cheer for her and not lose to them. As for getting even with them, Tang Yin didn't even think about it. She just wanted to know more about her enemy. Yeah, sure, no problem. Xiao Xiao agreed after hearing Tang Yin's words. It wasn't a hard thing for her, and it wouldn't go against her principles. That was why Xiao Xiao agreed so readily. But even if Tang Yin had lowered her voice, Lin Yi's hearing wasn't bad. He had heard everything clearly from the side. Lin Yi found the conversation between the two girls a little funny, but he didn't think there was anything wrong with it. It was reasonable for Tang Yin to think like that, but she didn't dare to confront him face to face. She could only find it out herself. This made Lin Yi feel that Tang Yin had really changed. She was a little different from the stubborn Tang Yin he knew before. The Tang Yin who was grinding her teeth in front of him was gone. What replaced it was a gentle image. After that, Tang Yin and Xiao Xiao talked about something else before hanging up. Xiao Xiao, on the other hand, passed the phone back to Lin Yi as if nothing had happened. She didn't mention anything about Tang Yin's orders. Lin Yi took the phone and put it away, not saying anything. The car stopped in front of House Chu's villa, and the sound of the car attracted Meng Yao and Yushu's attention. Meng Yao breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Lin Yi's car outside. Lin Yi leaving with a serious face really scared the Miss and Shu. They didn't have time to ask, and they were worried until now. They only calmed down when they saw Lin Yi's car. Two people worrying about a boy at the same time. This was something that would never happen in the past. Who would Meng Yao and Yushu worry about before they met Lin Yi? The two were carefree, sleeping when it was time. But now they were sitting in the living room at the same time, waiting quietly. Chapter 1243. Releasing the news early, find out more about Su Shirhan. See if she's planning to hold a concert soon. Meng Yao, naturally, wouldn't admit that she was worried about Lin Yi. Yao Yao, didn't we look for her already? You've been sitting in the living room all this time? Yushu didn't hold back at all, exposing Meng Yao's lies all the time. I just rested for a bit. Meng Yao glared at Yushu and yawned. Haha, let me introduce a guest to you guys. She'll be staying here tonight. Lin Yi said as he opened the door and pulled Xiao Xiao out. Xiao Xiao didn't dare get out before, not knowing if Meng Yao would welcome her or not. Guest. The miss paused, but a smile appeared on her face when she saw Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao, why didn't you get out? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yushu clapped her hands happily. With a playmate like Xiao Xiao in the villa, they wouldn't be lonely in the future. Whether it was Meng Yao or Yushu, they didn't see Xiao Xiao as their enemy. Because of Xiao Xiao's condition, Meng Yao and Yushu had accepted her a long time ago. No matter how well Lin Yi treated her, she wouldn't become their love rival. Tang Yin had accepted her, so why would Meng Yao and Yushu do anything to her? Plus, after some time together, Meng Yao realized that Xiao Xiao was an easy person to get along with. They had fun together, and so she accepted her from the bottom of her heart. Yushu, on the other hand, was the same. The troublemaking duo wasn't just for show. The two of them could sweep through the world and mess with anyone they saw. Xiao Xiao's father made an enemy, an international criminal gang. I was worried that they wouldn't give up and would come looking for trouble again. So I brought Xiao Xiao to the villa. Lin Yi explained. Plus, you guys know about Xiao Xiao's illness too. This way, I'll be able to take care of it when it acts up. That's good. The villa is big anyway. Just clean up a room, and it'll be more lively in the future. Meng Yao smiled and nodded at Xiao Xiao. Yushu ran over happily and pulled Xiao Xiao into the villa. Lin Yi knew that Meng Yao and Shu were kind people, so there shouldn't be any problems with Xiao Xiao moving into the villa. He parked the car in the garage and returned to the villa, only to see Xiao Xiao, Meng Yao, and Yushu sitting in front of the sofa, looking up something on their tablet. Evidently, it was news about Su Shirhan. Go to bed early. We still have school tomorrow, Lin Yi said as he glanced at the three of them. Lin Yi, you sleep with Xiao Xiao? Or will Xiao Xiao sleep with us? Meng Yao glanced at Lin Yi. Lin Yi felt a little awkward, living with Xiao Xiao under the eyes of the miss, and Shu was a little awkward no matter how he looked at it. Yao Yao sis Shu, can I sleep with you guys? You won't mind, right? Xiao Xiao naturally was too embarrassed to sleep with Lin Yi. It was fine if it was just the two of them, but they were in someone else's house. How could she do that? Of course not, the bed upstairs is really big, 2 meters. Tang Yin can sleep there too. Meng Yao smiled. She didn't know why, but she felt relieved. Was it because Lin Yi didn't sleep with Xiao Xiao? Meng Yao didn't know. It's getting late, you guys should shower and go to bed. Lin Yi nodded and went back to his room without saying anything else. After showering, Xiao Xiao put on Yushu's pajamas and went to Meng Yao's room. She thought it would be awkward, but the room was very warm. Meng Yao and Yushu weren't overly enthusiastic either, and Meng Yao only waved her hand casually. Xiao Xiao, come quick. Su Shirhan's official fan club just posted an announcement on their official website. According to reliable sources, Su Shirhan has plans to go on a concert tour soon. Really? Who knows if it's real or not? You can't really believe a post on a fan club, right? Xiao Xiao didn't feel awkward anymore after hearing Mingyao's words. She ran to the bed and squeezed with Yushu, looking at the tablet in Mingyao's hand. Who knows? But it shouldn't be a scam, right? Look at this ID, it's really high-leveled, an honorary moderator. Mingyao pointed at the poster on the tablet. It's true. Xiao Xiao nodded, a little surprised. Does this mean that the news might be true? It's possible. We'll get the confirmation tomorrow, Mingyao said. After reading the post, the three laid on the bed and watched a part of Shirhan's MV before turning off the lights and going to sleep. Everything was so natural, as if the three of them had been living together all along, and Xiao Xiao didn't have to worry too much about it. Su Shirhan looked at Wang Sis, who was busy in front of the computer, and walked over curiously. Su Shirhan was no different from a normal girl. Curious, active, and lively, just like a normal person. Wang Sis, what are you busy with? Su Shirhan looked at the screen in front of Wang Sis, surprised. Wang Sis, why are you on my fan club website? I'm going to make a post, release some news first, just in case I make a decision, Wang Sis said. Post? What post? Su Shirhan looked at the screen curiously. Wang Sis, isn't that your honorary moderator ID? Why are you saying I'm going to have a concert? You don't have any plans for it recently? Now that you have plans, doesn't that mean you do? Wang Sis smiled. These few days you might actually have a concert tour. Why? Su Shirhan was confused. Wang Sis, it's not like you don't know that my headache will flare up from time to time. If it happens during the concert, it'll be hard to explain. Su Shirhan had this weird headache, and this was the reason why she didn't participate in public performances often. Even if she had concerts, it was only when she was forced to do so by the company. She didn't cooperate with any other entertainment companies or departments. This was also because she didn't want her headache to spread to the public. Chapter 1244. Chapter 1242, Prophecy. Shu prophesied again. It's because of your weird headache that I'm planning to hold this concert, Wang Sis said. Now we can basically confirm that Zhao Yaowang's medical skills are real. I've already asked my friends. A lot of famous people in Songshan City have gone to him for treatment. His medical skills are superb. Really? He has a way to cure my illness? Su Shirhan was pleasantly surprised after hearing the news. And the possibility is very high. Wang Sis nodded. I've already talked to Zhao Yaowang's manager today. I also told him about your situation, and he agreed immediately, saying that he has the confidence to cure you. He's not a scammer, right? Su Shirhan was a bit worried. You still don't trust Wang Sis's foresight? Wang Sis smiled. Whether he has the ability or not, Wang Sis can tell with one look. Currently, this Zhao Yaowang's reputation is not bad. It's just that he's a bit too shady. The fees are sky high. Sky high then. The money I earn isn't useful anyways, I'm alone. There's nothing to worry about. Su Shirhan didn't really care about money. I think so too. So after careful consideration, I've decided to bring you to see a doctor, Wang Sis said. But you need to find a suitable reason to go to Songshan City for treatment, or else you won't be able to stay in Songshan City for long. If you don't want those entertainment reporters to dig something out, I think the only reason is to hold a concert there. After all, we don't have any business activities to do in Songshan City. If I knew earlier, I would have agreed to that Miracle Dr. Guan Medical Company's product launch. So that's it. I was wondering why they suddenly held a concert. Su Shirhan finally understood what Wang Sis's actions meant. The next morning, Su Shirhan's entertainment company announced that Su Shirhan was going to hold a national concert tour. The specific number of concerts, venue, and time were still to be decided, but the first stop was confirmed: Songshan City. Although Songshan was a second-tier city, it wasn't unheard of to hold a concert in a second-tier city. So Su Shirhan's fans were only shocked for a second before they started to envy the fans who lived around Songshan. Little Miss Chu, Little Miss Chun, and Little Miss Feng were eating the pork and century egg congee made by Lin Yi while watching the morning entertainment news. All of them widened their eyes at the same time. Holy sh*t, Prophet Shu is so powerful. Last night, I was still saying how great it would be if the concert could be held here. Today it's confirmed. Yushu felt that she was really something. Last night when they were chatting under the blanket, they talked about this. And so Yushu made another prophecy. Oh, Mengyao too looked at Yushu suspiciously. The girl's Jinx's mouth was quite accurate after all. She'd gotten it wrong so many times. Xiao Xiao's face was a little weird as well. She'd heard of Prophet Shu's story a long time ago, and now that she saw it, it was indeed quite amazing. Things were so mysterious, and looking at Yushu, it was like a blind cat finding a dead mouse. But who knew if it was true or not? Shu, then can you prophesy for me? Will I die? Xiao Xiao asked suddenly. Oh. Yushu paused. No way, you definitely won't die. We'll be the troublemaker duo from now on. And we'll sweep the world. What would I do if you died? Haha, I hope you're right. Xiao Xiao nodded. She was just asking casually. Even she didn't really believe that she'd be able to live. It had been generations in the family, and no one could escape this curse. Alright, what's with the talk of dying so early in the morning? Are you done eating? I'm going to school, Linny said. Falbert's here already. These 2 days, Falbert had moved out after recovering. He was an old man living with a bunch of young people, after all, and he wasn't used to it. Plus, the company was busy, and Pengzhan often had social engagements at night. He couldn't go back to the villa in the middle of the night. And so things went back to normal. Falbert would deliver food every night, and he'd drive to the villa to pick up Mengyao and Yushu in the morning. Alright, I'll have another mouthful of porridge. Yushu picked up the bowl and drank it all in one gulp. Linny, where are we going today? Mengyao asked as she looked at Xiao Xiao. In the past, Linny drove to pick up Xiao Xiao and Tang Yun while Mengyao and Yushu sat in Falbert's car. But now that Xiao Xiao was living in the villa, it was pointless for Lin Yi to drive himself. He might as well let Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao get in the car together. But he'd just pick up Tang Yun. Mengyao and Yushu weren't familiar with Tang Yun before, so Tang Yun wasn't used to sitting in their car a couple of times. But now, with Xiao Xiao as a link, their relationship was much better. They went out together, and they even slept together at night. Naturally, their relationship wasn't the same as before. Now that Tang Yun was in the car with them, there wasn't any awkwardness. Then we'll all sit in Falbert's car. We'll just pick up Tang Yun later. Linny nodded, seeing through the misintentions. Xiao Xiao looked at Falbert's Bentley, a little envious. This car is so high-end, I want to drive it myself. Xiao Xiao was a car lover, unlike the Miss and Shu, who didn't have any feelings for cars. Then why don't you be the driver? Linny smiled. Linny was a lot more easygoing now. He didn't have to worry about anything anymore. Ever since he resigned, Lin Yi's relationship with the Miss, Shu and Falbert had gotten a lot better. Lin Yi was still a bodyguard and follower in name, but it could be seen that both Mengyao and Yushu treated him as a friend. Falbert, on the other hand, treated Lin Yi as his savior. Naturally, Falbert wouldn't reject Lin Yi's suggestion. Miss Feng should drive. No, this car's too big. I'm afraid I can't control it well. Xiao Xiao stuck out her tongue and sat in the back. Let's wait for the weekend. Let Falbert drive the car over, and we'll go practice in an open space. Lin Yi smiled. With Lin Yi's current status, he could afford to pay for a Bentley even if it was smashed. Even if it was, Pengzhan wouldn't make Lin Yi pay for it. Chapter 1245. Chapter 1243. New Master of Songshan, N. Let's go pick up Tang Yun first. But she moved to 528, Changdong Avenue, Changxiang Garden. Lin Yi said to Falbert. Okay, Mr. Lin. Falbert nodded. There was no need to tell Falbert where to go. To Falbert, who was extremely familiar with Songshan City, Lin Yi was a living navigator. Lin Yi gave Tang Yun a call. Yun, I'll take Falbert's car to pick you up today. You just need to get ready to go. Falbert's car? Then I'll wait for you at the bus stop in front of the district. Falbert's car is pretty big, and it's not easy to drive in the district. Nowadays, a lot of people dump their trash on the roads, Tang Yun said after some thought. That's fine. Let's meet at the bus stop then. Lin Yi nodded and didn't force the issue. He had felt it when he sent Tang Yun home yesterday. Many residents had left their trash on the road, and they hadn't had time to move it away. It was quite difficult for cars to pass through. Small cars could still handle it, but big cars would get scratched. Tang Yin hung up the phone and grabbed her bag to go downstairs. Mrs. Tang caught up to her. Yin, was that En? Tang Yin replied. I made roasted chicken drumstick. Can you bring him a box to try? He's not here at our house, so we'll make up for it. Mrs. Tang took the lunch box and passed it to Tang Yin. Okay. Tang Yin thought about it and took it. Recently, she had been eating in the school cafeteria, but since it was a single room, it was fine to bring her own food. Tang Yin took the lunchbox to the bus stop and waited for Lin Yi's arrival. Waiting for her boyfriend to pick her up to go to school was something Tang Yin didn't even dare to think about in the past. Dating in the third year of high school? How was that possible? But now, Tang Yin accepted it naturally and gladly. The relationship between a man and a woman that she thought was shameless in the past was now sweet. Tang Yin realized that her attitude had changed. The road and bus stop in front of the district were newly built, clean and beautiful. Tang Yin never thought that she would move from the slums to a high-class district like this. I wonder how my neighbors in the shantytown are doing now. However, under Lin Yi's intervention, the residents of the slums finally received a high compensation from Zhao Qibing. It was the last good deed Tang Yin did for them. In the future, they would have to rely on themselves. He could help them for a while, but he couldn't help them forever. Moreover, he still had to trouble Lin Yi. Beauty, are you waiting for the bus? Do you want me to give you a ride? A black Ferrari stopped in front of Tang Yin. Inside the window of the car was a young man who looked like a rich young master. He looked like he was sizing Tang Yin up. Zhao Fafa was also one of the owners of Changxiang Garden. His father was a contractor, and this Changxiang Garden was built by his father's company. Thus, Zhao Fafa's father, Zhao Guangxi, also had a house in Changxiang Garden. As Zhao Fafa's 20th birthday present, Zhao Guangxi gave him a villa in Changxiang Garden. Zhao Fafa had a car and a house. Although he was a student in a university, all he did was eat, drink, and play with his friends. They called themselves the new Songshan Four Young Masters. The old Songshan Four Young Masters had disappeared for many years, so Zhao Fafa and the others called themselves the new Songshan Four Young Masters. Of course, there was a reason why Zhao Fafa was so active recently and called himself the head of the new Songshan Four Young Masters. Because his father, Zhao Guangxi, found a book about House Zhao's family when he was cleaning up the old house. According to the book, he recognized a cousin brother, and an uncle. This cousin brother was very powerful, so Zhao Guangxi became famous immediately. He got to know a lot of famous people, and his company's business expanded a lot. So Zhao Fafa became arrogant as well. He felt that he had become a disciple of a famous house, one of the leaders of the younger generation in Songshan. Zhao Fafa, who was full of confidence, drove his car out of Changxiang Garden. He saw a beautiful girl waiting for the bus at the bus stop. She had a beautiful body and a beautiful face. Zhao Fafa's heart was moved. But Zhao Fafa was a man with good eyesight. He observed Tang Yin for a while before driving over to talk to her. From what he could see, Tang Yin was wearing a school uniform, so she should be from a poor family. She was holding a lunchbox in her hand. How many rich students would bring their own lunch? He looked at Tang Yin's position. It was the bus stop. She should be waiting for the bus here. If her family was rich, she would get a car to pick her up or drive her own car. If not, she would take a taxi to school. Waiting for the bus here was proof of Tang Yin's family's situation. So Zhao Fafa felt that it wouldn't be hard to get Tang Yin. This kind of girl who had never seen the world would be confused if he gave her some money. Tang Yin looked at Zhao Fafa in the Ferrari and didn't reply. It had been a long time since Tang Yin had encountered a situation like this, but she'd encountered it a lot back in the slums. That shamelessly Erlin used to pester her all the time. But Linny beat him up, and he didn't dare do it again. Pretty girl, are you in a hurry to go to school? Let me send you. I don't have anything to do anyway. Don't worry, I live in this area too. I'm from the villa in A area. Look, I have a villa area pass here. With that, Zhao Fafa took out the car pass and showed it to Tang Yin. He was telling her that he wasn't a bad guy, and that he was her neighbor. In this materialistic society, many girls were vain. Zhao Fafa had met too many of them. So from Zhao Fafa's point of view, if this girl had a little bit of vanity, she would take the bait after he showed off his luxury car and mansion. After all, even if nothing happened between them, she would be able to ride a Ferrari to school. It was enough for her to brag to her classmates. Zhao Fafa, on the other hand, enjoyed the fun of hitting on girls. He wouldn't show it off the first time, but from his point of view, if this happened once, there would be a second time, a third time. As the two of them interacted more and more, there would be no one who wouldn't take the bait. Chapter 1246. A warning, however. It was obvious that Tang Yun had underestimated the character of the person in front of her. Seeing that he was asking so many questions, Tang Yun could only impatiently explain. No need. Thank you for your kindness. We live in the same area, we're neighbors. Get in the car, we'll be friends. Zhao Fafa paused, but he thought that Tang Yun was being reserved, so he didn't think much about it and continued. I said it's fine. Tang Yun turned her head and ignored Zhao Fafa. Zhao Fafa didn't think that Tang Yun really didn't want to talk to him. Anger flashed in his eyes. Who was he? He was the leader of the Songshan Four Young Masters. And he couldn't even deal with a girl? Beauty, don't be so rude, right? Zhao Fafa looked at Tang Yun salivating. What a beauty! Big breasts, beautiful face, tall body. She had all the advantages in one body. A trace of anger flashed across Tang Yun's face. Why was this person so annoying? Seeing that Tang Yun didn't want to talk, Zhao Fafa's face darkened even more. But the more it was like this, the more challenging it was. Picking up girls wasn't challenging at all, and he pushed them down easily. Plus, the girls he slept with weren't virgins, so Zhao Fafa didn't have any sense of achievement, and he didn't treasure it. But now, Zhao Fafa was guessing that this girl was still a virgin after seeing Tang Yun's behavior. That would be great. Just when Zhao Fafa was fantasizing, a Bentley slowly drove over and stopped behind the Ferrari. Lenny, honey, it seems like someone is pestering Tang Yun, sis. Xiao Xiao pointed at the car not far away. Yeah, shield bro, go teach him a lesson. Yushu said as if she wanted to see the world in chaos. She loved watching Lenny beat people up. Lenny got off the car speechlessly. He didn't think that there would be so much trouble on the first day he came to Tang Yun's new home. Back in the slums, after Lin Yi's fame spread, no one dared to cause trouble for Tang Yun. It was the same in school. Lenny. Seeing that Lin Yi was here, Tang Yun breathed out in relief. Although they were in public, Tang Yun was afraid that Zhao Fafa would do something overboard. What should she do then? Now that Lin Yi was here, he could save himself some trouble. Yun, what does this kid do? Lin Yi looked at Zhao Fafa and asked. He's also a neighbor in the neighborhood. He insisted on sending me to school. Tang Yun didn't want Lin Yi to have a conflict with others, so she said it lightly. She didn't repeat Zhao Fafa's words. Zhao Fafa looked at Lin Yi, his face cold. Even an idiot could tell that Lin Yi was Tang Yun's boyfriend. Zhao Fafa felt like he was cheated. He thought that she was a pure and innocent girl, but he didn't expect her to be a puppy lover. She already had a boyfriend. However, Zhao Fafa liked to poach other people's girlfriends the most. It was a challenging thing, and it was very important for the four young masters of Songshan. Zhao Fafa got off the car and rolled his eyes. He looked at Lin Yi with disdain. He didn't notice that Lin Yi got off the Bentley behind him. His attention was on Tang Yun. How could he notice anything else? So the Bentley behind was automatically ignored by Zhao Fafa. Kid, you're quite capable, aren't you? Not bad at picking up girls, huh? Zhao Fafa looked at Lin Yi and extended his hand. Let's get to know each other. I'm Zhao Fafa, one of the four young masters of Songshan. Lin Yi didn't want to talk to him at first, but when he heard that he was one of the four young masters of Songshan, he froze. Songshan's four young masters? Zhao Fafa didn't expect Lin Yi to know his name. He felt more confident now. You've heard of my name too? Very well, I'll tell you this. No woman I, Zhao Fafa, will be able to escape from me. Tang Yun frowned. Why was this guy so shameless? Her boyfriend was here, and he was still talking nonsense. She thought that he was a neighbor, so she gave him some face, but he was getting more and more out of hand. Are you sick in the head? Lin Yi looked at Zhao Fafa. Songshan's four young masters? Which one are you? I know 3 of them, and I've messed with 2 of them. You're the last one? HM. Zhao Fafa froze, then started laughing. Who didn't know how to talk big? Looking at Lin Yi, he couldn't help but mock. You? Stop bragging. Don't bite your tongue. We'll meet again. Look after your girl. Don't cry when I take her away from you. Zhao Fafa was alone today, so he didn't dare to fight with Lin Yi. He warned him and got into the car. This is your car? Lin Yi pointed at the Ferrari. What? Jealous? Zhao Fafa said proudly. You're blocking the road. Lin Yi kicked the Ferrari, and it spun on the road, stopping not far away. On the body of the car, a footprint could be seen clearly. Wah! Zhao Fafa was dumbfounded. At this moment he forgot to be angry. How did this kid have so much strength? Did he just kick the car away? Was he still human? While Zhao Fafa was still in shock, Lin Yi pulled Tang Yin to the Bentley and got in. The Bentley slowly drove past Zhao Fafa's eyes. What the fuck? Zhao Fafa's eyes were filled with disbelief. Was this kid from a rich family too? Why was he sitting in a Bentley? Zhao Fafa knew how much a Bentley was worth. At least, it was more expensive than his Ferrari. However, the more he looked at others, the more annoyed he was. From his point of view, this Bentley might not be Lin Yi's. It must be his family's. What was this? Didn't his father have a Rolls-Royce? But he had an extra sports car compared to Lin Yi. So in terms of overall strength, he was stronger than Lin Yi. Snatching a girl from someone like him was more challenging and satisfying. With that thought, Zhao Fafa memorized the Bentley's license plate and prepared to investigate it. As for Tang Yin's background, he wanted to investigate it in the small district. They lived in the same district, so it was easy to get some information. Chapter 1247. Headmaster Ding, why did you beat him up? He's just a small fry, just give him a warning. Lin Yi didn't put Zhao Fafa in his eyes at all. He was just a kid from a rich family. After seeing the Bentley that he and Tang Yin sat in, he would probably give up on harassing Tang Yin. After all, provoking someone who was at the same level as him wasn't a smart choice. Unless this Zhao Fafa and his father had mental issues, they wouldn't fight each other to the death over such a small matter. Not long after they arrived at school, Jifeng came to the classroom of 12th grade class 5. He looked at the classroom and said, Mengyao Yushu Lin Yi, come with me for a while. The students in the classroom were starting to get curious. They'd seen how close Mengyao and Yushu had been recently. Could it be that Wang Jifeng was looking for them, because they had puppy love tendencies? But wasn't Lin Yi a couple with Tang Yin? Could it be that he had some kind of relationship with Mengyao and Yushu? But Mengyao was the daughter of the chairman of the school. Jifeng wouldn't dare to say anything to her. The boring life of studying always made people want to gossip to relieve their stress. So when the three of them left the classroom, people started to whisper among themselves. However, even Lin Yi himself, who was involved in this matter, was curious as to why Jifeng was looking for them. Fortunately, Jifeng didn't dare to act arrogant in front of them. He didn't take 2 steps and explained, Headmaster Ding asked me to look for you guys to discuss about the donation event for the orphanage? So it was like that. Lin Yi nodded. Other than that, there really wasn't any other reason to link him to Mengyao and Yushu on the surface. But even Jifeng himself had his own suspicions. When Lin Yi first transferred here, he didn't act like he was close with Mengyao. Instead, he was with Tang Yin. This made Jifeng think that Lin Yi might just be related to Pengzhan, but they weren't close at all. He was being manipulated by Lin Yi because Lin Yi caught his weakness, and it wasn't because he was trying to flatter Mengyao. But now it didn't seem to be the case. Especially these few days, Lin Yi, Tang Yin, Chen Mingyan, and Yushu went to school together. Jifeng felt that things weren't as simple as he thought. But even so, Jifeng didn't want to get to the bottom of it. No matter what their relationship was, it wasn't his concern. Bingong didn't stand up to greet them as they entered the office. Mengyao might be the miss of a rich family, but she was still a student. Bingong, on the other hand, was the headmaster of the school. He had to maintain some of his dignity. Fortunately, the miss wasn't a bossy person. She wouldn't do anything disrespectful in school. Take a seat yourselves. Bingong gestured for the 3 to sit on the sofa opposite him. Yao Yao, Shu and Lin Yi, I called you here today to discuss the donation event for the orphanage. This is also Chairman Chu's idea. After all, you were the ones who suggested it first. If you have any suggestions, you can tell me. Meng Yao and Yushu looked at each other. The two of them didn't have any experience like this, and it was just a flash of inspiration. How could they compare to a professional like Bing Gong in terms of giving suggestions? As the headmaster of the school, it wasn't the first time that Bing Gong had organized activities for students and teachers. He was more experienced than Meng Yao and Yushu. Headmaster Ding, we're all students. We're not as experienced as you. I'm sure the school already has a plan in place. What do you want us to do? Lin Yi, of course, knew what Bing Gong was trying to say. Bing Gong's words were just polite words to save the Miss face. But with the Miss personality, she wouldn't care about such things. Lin Yi, on the other hand, could tell that Bing Gong really did have some trouble. He must have asked for Peng Zhan's approval before asking Jifeng to call them here. Bing Gong looked at Lin Yi, then at Meng Yao and Yushu. The two didn't say anything. Evidently, they agreed with Lin Yi's words. Bing Gong couldn't help but feel shocked. It seemed like the Miss and Shu were following Lin Yi, but this was good. With a smart person like Lin Yi here, it would save them a lot of trouble. And so Bing Gong said directly, here's the thing. After the school's discussion, we decided that it's not a problem to ask for donations. But it's not easy to get these bosses to donate money. Although the boss who received the invitation might generously donate 10 or 20,000 yuan, it shouldn't be a big sum of money for the orphanage. What I'm trying to say is, since we're doing this, we should raise as much money as we can, at least temporarily. Yes, Headmaster Ding, you're right. Lin Yi nodded and didn't say anything else, listening to Bing Gong. First of all, in order to get those celebrities to donate money willingly, we have to at least hold a show. If there's a show, there needs to be a host. And according to the current rules, the host should be a beautiful woman. Beautiful women are easy on the eyes. Bing Gong laughed dryly and said, although it's a bit tacky, in order to get those rich people to donate, we have to be tacky. And in the school, there are 3 school beauties, Yao Yao, Shu and Tang Yun. I think there's Xiao Xiao now. Lin Yi was a little surprised. He didn't expect the old-fashioned Bing Gong to say something like this. Meng Yao, on the other hand, was a little embarrassed to be called a school beauty by the headmaster. But Shu, on the other hand, accepted it happily. Headmaster Ding, you want me and Shu to be the hosts? Meng Yao asked. Of course, that's my idea. Whether you guys are willing or not, I'll have to discuss it with you guys. Bing Gong nodded. Of course. Meng Yao nodded, not rejecting it. It's my duty to donate to the orphanage. Hosting? I'm not really suited for it. Yushu didn't want to go. She had to stand on the stage for so long. And for someone with ADHD like her, it was hard. How about this? Let Tang Yin and Yao Yao do it. They're about the same height. Lin Yi thought about it and decided for Tang Yin. Chapter 1248. The celebrity seeks help. After this matter was settled, Bing Gong changed the topic. One more thing. Even if we ask the celebrities to donate, I don't think they'll be able to get much. So I've decided to turn the second half of the event into an auction. We'll auction some items, and the proceeds will all be donated to the orphanage. It'll be similar to those charity auctions. As for the items being auctioned, other than Chairman Chu providing a portion of it, if you have any more expensive items that you don't need, you can bring them out for the auction as well. It'll add some popularity to the auction. From Bing Gong's point of view, a miss like Meng Yao must have gotten a lot of expensive gifts since she was young. If there were any that she didn't need, she could bring them out and sell them for a good price. Especially the Miss' personal belongings. It was a little ambiguous. Bing Gong looked like an upright and old-fashioned person. But that wasn't the case. It was just that as the headmaster, he had to be like that sometimes. Of course Lin Yi, the Miss, and Shu didn't know about Bing Gong's dirty thoughts. If they knew, the Miss wouldn't have brought her things out for the auction. After everything was settled, Lin Yi, Meng Yao, and Yushu returned to class. The news that the school was going to hold a fundraising event was also announced. The preliminary round of the singing competition was also put on the agenda. At the same time, the celebrity Su Shirhan avoided the entertainment reporters and came to Songshan with Wang Sis. On the entertainment company's side, Su Shirhan's concert team was on the way to Songshan, but Su Shirhan and Wang Sis were nowhere to be seen. The two teams, one in the open and one in the dark, successfully attracted the attention of the entertainment media. Although the reporters didn't see Su Shirhan, they still believed that she was in the team. After all, this was Su Shirhan's concert planning team. Without Su Shirhan, how could they hold a concert? So everyone thought that Su Shirhan didn't want to be interviewed, so she hid in the team and didn't want to appear. An MPV quietly stopped at the entrance of the Floating Cloud bar. A man in a hat and glasses, armed to the teeth, and a woman in her 30s alighted from the car and entered the bar. It wasn't the bar's business hours right now. It was only 10 o'clock in the morning. There wouldn't be any customers in the bar at this time. So the two's visit surprised the bar's staff. "Ladies, may I ask why you're here?" The waiter greeted them in surprise and asked, "Is this Zhao Yaowang's clinic?" "We're here for a consultation," Sister Wang said calmly. She had already inquired about Zhao Yaowang's whereabouts and knew that this was the bar. "Please wait a moment." The waiter did not dare to neglect. Hearing that they were here for consultation, he immediately turned around and went back to report. During this period of time, there was an endless stream of people coming to the bar to see Yaowang. This had become one of Yaowang's biggest sources of income, so the waiters knew about it. Not long after, Su Jianong walked out from the back of the bar. Seeing Su Shirhan's outfit, he was obviously taken aback. Could it be that she had some sort of leprosy disease and couldn't meet people anymore? "Don't infect me." But for the sake of making money, Su Jianong naturally wouldn't show any disgusted expression. He smiled and said, "Excuse me, what illness are you here for? Were you happy before?" "Yes, my surname is Wang. You must be CEO Su Jianong, right? We just talked on the phone yesterday." Sister Wang smiled and said to Su Jianong, "Ah, it's Su Shirhan." Su Jianong paused and immediately remembered the phone call yesterday. He also understood why the person in front of him was so well dressed. It was a superstar, and they were afraid of being seen. No wonder they dressed like this. Sister Wang nodded with a smile and made a shushing gesture. "CEO Su, can you bring us to see Yaowang now? Please." Su Jianong quickly made a gesture with a smile on his face. This was the superstar Su Shirhan, the little rich lady in the entertainment industry, the real sugar daddy. This time, Master Bing was going to earn a fortune again. With that thought, Su Jianong became even more enthusiastic. "Yaowang is free right now, please come in." Su Jianong brought Su Shirhan and Sister Wang to the back room of the Floating Cloud bar, and saw an old man with needles all over his body, and a young man in a wheelchair. Both of them froze. "This?" Sister Wang looked at Su Jianong in puzzlement. "Were these two patients? Where was Zhao Yaowang?" "This is Zhao Qibing, Master Bing, our boss, and also Yaowang's young master." Su Jianong introduced to Sister Wang and Shirhan. Master Bing's leg was broken because of an accident, but with Yaowang's treatment, it should be healed soon. "Hello, Master Bing." Sister Wang nodded politely to Zhao Qibing. "Hello, Manager Wang, right? I've heard about you from Jianong. Welcome." Zhao Qibing smiled and pointed at Yaowang. "This is Zhao Yaowang." "Ah." Sister Wang froze and looked at the old man with needles all over his body in disbelief. "What's that on his body?" Shirhan asked in surprise. "Huh. This is a lightning rod, used to avoid lightning when we go out. We don't want to be struck by lightning, so we stick them on our bodies." Zhao Qibing made up an excuse. He couldn't say that it was Lin Yi who did it, and that he couldn't remove it. Wouldn't his reputation be ruined if he did? Lightning rod? Su Shirhan froze and felt strange. Who would stick a lightning rod in their body? Was there something wrong with him? This Zhao Yaowang, was he reliable or not? Why did it feel so strange? Ahem. Yaowang quickly waved his hand and explained. Master Bing was joking. In fact, this is a divine art that I practice. Look, these are all silver needles. I'm an expert in medicine and acupuncture, so I use acupuncture to increase my strength. Oh, I see. Sister Wang understood, and her eyes flashed with admiration. Yaowang is indeed a master, to be able to use such a mysterious method to increase strength. It's nothing, haha. Yao Wang laughed proudly. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's see the doctor first. This is the superstar Shirhan, right? Yes, it's Shirhan. Sister Wang nodded. Thank you, Yao Wang. Chapter 1249. The disease is cured before Su Shirhan came. Yao Wang already knew what Qibing was thinking about. Qibing was a very perverted person, and he wanted to take advantage of the fact that the superstar was here to get close to her. This Su Shirhan, on the other hand, covered herself up so tightly that it wasn't pleasing to the eye at all. Seeing Master Bing's expression, Yao Wang naturally suggested it for him. As expected, after hearing Yao Wang's suggestion, Qibing's expression relaxed. Qibing was also a fan of Su Shirhan, and now that there was a chance to get close to her, how could he let it go? Usually, when Yao Wang was treating patients, he wouldn't be there. This time, he was here for Su Shirhan. Do I really have to open it? Su Shirhan was hesitant. Qibing's invasive gaze made her a little wary. Su Shirhan had a strong sense of self-protection. She could sense anyone who had bad intentions towards her. Otherwise, she would have been tainted by the entertainment industry a long time ago. Of course. Yao Wang nodded. Traditional Chinese medicine focuses on look, listen, question, and feel the pulse. You're covered up so the first look won't work. How are we going to proceed to the next step? So that's how it is. Wang Sis nodded. Han, quickly take off your sunglasses and hat. There are no outsiders here, so there won't be any reporters watching. Su Shirhan had no choice. She could only take off her hat and sunglasses. The beauty that blossomed in that instant was out of this world, and Zhao Qibing's eyes widened. What he didn't expect was that Su Shirhan was even more beautiful and pure than on TV. She was 10,000 times more beautiful than pictures and movies. Qibing couldn't help but be tempted. If he could spend the night with Su Shirhan, it would be such a great thing. Qibing wanted to find a suitable opportunity to bring it up. Yao Wang, how is it? Su Shirhan could only pretend that she didn't see Qibing's naked gaze. She needed his help, and she couldn't just leave. If Yao Wang really had a way to cure her, then she could only endure it. You often get headaches for no reason, right? Although Yao Wang's medical skills were superb, he couldn't tell what was wrong with Su Shirhan. However, he wouldn't let Su Shirhan go so easily. Putting aside the fact that he wanted to earn money from Su Shirhan, Zhao Qibing was definitely interested in her. If he said that he couldn't cure her, then Zhao Qibing wouldn't have any chance at all. Yes, Su Shirhan nodded. I don't know when it happened, but I started having headaches all of a sudden. There's no pattern at all. And it can be treated. Yao Wang carefully checked again and nodded. Is there really a way? Su Shirhan was shocked. After so many years, she had seen many famous doctors, but in the end, there was no good solution. She didn't expect Yao Wang to have a solution. Of course, I'm not called the king pharmacist for nothing. The king of medicine said proudly. It can be said that there are no illnesses in this world that can baffle me. None of them are difficult for me. That's great. I wonder how the medicine king will treat him. As for the treatment fee, Wang Sis was overjoyed and quickly asked. At this moment, Su Shirhan suddenly covered her temples with both of her hands as she bent down in pain. Cold sweat immediately appeared on her forehead. She didn't think that her headache would act up at this time. However, this was a good thing. It allowed Yao Wang to see the symptoms of her illness more directly, so she gritted her teeth and raised her head. It's acting up. It's starting to hurt again. It's okay. Wait for a moment, I'll get the medicine. I'll guarantee that you'll be cured. Yao Wang turned and walked into the inner room. Not long after, he took out a bottle of unknown medicine. He took one out and gave it to Su Shirhan. Take it now. I guarantee that you'll see the effects immediately. Su Shirhan didn't hesitate and quickly swallowed the pill Yao Wang gave her. But a miracle really happened. Not long after, Su Shirhan's headache weakened, and very quickly, it didn't hurt at all. It doesn't hurt anymore? It really doesn't hurt anymore? Su Shirhan widened her eyes in surprise. Wasn't the medicine working too fast? It was practically instantaneous. All the medicine she used to relieve headaches didn't have this effect. Of course, if this medicine doesn't work, then I wouldn't be called Yao Wang. Yao Wang waved his hand calmly and said with a mysterious look, In reality, what he gave Su Shirhan was just a strong analgesic medicine. He didn't know why Su Shirhan was having a headache, but he didn't care. Yao Wang always followed the principle of treating the symptoms and not the root cause. As long as it's cured now, it's fine. Who cares what happens in the future? The money in front of him has to be earned first. If there were any problems in the future, it had nothing to do with him. This powerful analgesic drug was similar to a drug. It was given to seriously injured martial artists to take when they couldn't hold on any longer. It could also play a role in prolonging their lives. However, this kind of thing had too many side effects and too much dependence, so it was useless to take more of it. It was just that Yao Wang didn't care what would happen after Su Shirhan took it. He only wanted the benefits in front of him. This medicine won't have any side effects, right? Su Shirhan wasn't stupid. This kind of instant effect was a bit too magical, so it was normal for her to be worried. Of course not. This old man is using pure herbal medicine. It doesn't contain any chemicals. You know, herbs, there are no side effects at all. Many herbs are used as seasonings. Yao Wang naturally wouldn't tell the truth about the side effects of the medicine. That's good. Su Shirhan nodded, but she was still worried. Then this medicine, will it cure the symptoms or the root cause? It can relieve the headache, but can it cure it? If this medicine is taken over a long period of time, it will naturally be able to cure the illness. However, if you want to recover faster, you will need to use other Chinese herbal medicines to help, Yao Wang said. After Miss Su confirms the treatment, I will give you the prescription. Of course it's treatment. Yao Wang has such superb medical skills. Of course we have to stay here for treatment, Wang Sis quickly said. But, I don't know about the treatment fee. Chapter 1250. Zhao Qibing's threat. After he finished speaking, the medicine king took back the pills he had taken out earlier and turned around to enter the inner room. He did not hesitate at all and did not take away a single cloud. He was like an otherworldly expert, coming and going in a hurry. Only Zhao Qibing, Su Jianong, Wang Sis, and Su Shirhan were left. Wang Sis paused and turned to Zhao Qibing. She was confused. Yao Wang was the one treating the patient. Why did he have to name a price? But since Yao Wang said so, Wang Sis could only turn her head and look at Zhao Qibing. Master Bing. About the treatment plan and the medical fees. That's easy, it's not a big deal. Miss Su Shirhan, I'm Zhao Qibing, and I've been admiring you for a long time. I've already prepared a banquet at Floating Cloud Hotel, and it's almost noon. I wonder if Miss Su would like to join me for lunch? Zhao Qibing smiled as he gestured for her to go. Lunch? Shirhan frowned unnoticeably. She knew what this Zhao Qibing was thinking. He wanted to get close to her, but she was here to cure her illness. She didn't want to have anything to do with him, so she smiled and looked at Wang Sis. Master Zhao, Shirhan is in a rush. She still has to prepare for the concert. She doesn't have much time. Let's forget about lunch. Maybe next time. Let's talk about the treatment first. Wang Sis politely rejected Zhao Qibing's suggestion. What? Miss Su doesn't want to give me face? Zhao Qibing's face darkened. If Miss Su is busy, then go ahead. When you're free, we'll talk about the treatment. Mr. Su, send them off. That's... Wang Sis froze. She didn't think that Zhao Qibing wouldn't give her face like this. He wouldn't treat her if she didn't eat. There was such a rule. Manager Wang, Miss Su, please. Su Jianong walked over and said faintly. Wang Sis finally understood that Zhao Qibing was serious. If she didn't eat with him, he wouldn't let Yao Wang continue treating her. This Yao Wang obviously listened to his orders, and without Qibing's permission, he wouldn't give Su Shirhan another pill. Thinking of this, Sister Wang had no choice but to awkwardly smile and say, Xiao Han, since it's hard to refuse young Master Zhao's hospitality, why don't we go eat something? We have to eat anyway. Su Shirhan was very unhappy, but there was nothing she could do. In order to cure the disease, she could only nod reluctantly. As a public figure, it was inevitable that she would participate in some activities that she wasn't willing to participate in. So Su Shirhan was mentally prepared for this. All right, since Master Bing said so, let's go. Shirhan nodded. That's more like it. Qibing was delighted. Trying to be reserved with me? I hate being reserved the most. You're a celebrity. Although you look good on the surface, everyone knows what you're doing in the dark. Because they were going out, Su Shirhan still put on her hat and sunglasses and quickly got into her MPV. Qibing originally wanted to sit in the same car with her, but Wang Sis clearly didn't want him to get in. Qibing had a wheelchair, and it was inconvenient for him to move. He didn't even get to the front of the MPV before Wang Sis closed the door. There was no other way. Qibing could only curse in his heart. Stupid bitch, I'll make you beg me to fuck you, or else I won't let Yawang treat you. You'll die from the pain. Qibing got into his MPV and led the way to Starlight Hotel. Wang Sis, this Zhao Qibing obviously doesn't have any good intentions. Shirhan looked at Wang Sis worriedly after getting in the car. This trip wouldn't be as smooth as it seemed. Yeah, I think so too. Wang Sis nodded. But sometimes, we have to lower our heads when we're under someone else's roof. We need his help. And you've seen it yourself. That Yawang is indeed powerful. One pill and he cured the disease. This has never happened before. That's true. But if Zhao Qibing really makes some unreasonable requests, then I won't treat him. Shirhan said stubbornly. We'll see. He's probably just a fan of yours, wanting to have a meal with you intimately. We can't ask for too much, after all, we're paying for the treatment. Wang Sis said. I hope so. Shirhan nodded. In the luxurious room of Starlight Hotel, Zhao Qibing sat on the main seat, and under his strong request, Su Shirhan had no choice but to sit next to him. On the other side of Zhao Qibing was Su Jiaonong. Yawang didn't attend. Qibing's intention was clear. If she wanted to treat him, she had to talk to him. If he wasn't happy, then there was no need to talk. Miss Su, I'm your fan. I've liked you since long ago. When we were in school, I used to masturbate with your picture, haha. Qibing raised his glass and said shamelessly. I didn't expect to see you today, Miss Su. You're even prettier than in your picture. Even I'm getting excited. Come, Miss Su, let me toast to you. Shirhan's face turned green. She'd seen shameless people before, but they were mostly suggestive. Someone like Qibing, saying such disgusting things right off the bat. Shirhan had never heard of such a thing before. Was there such a shameless person in this world? Using her picture to masturbate? Shirhan really wanted to flip the table and leave right there. Of course, as a superstar, Shirhan couldn't rule out the possibility of perverts fantasizing about doing dirty things to her. Shirhan couldn't control others. But to say it out loud in front of him, this Zhao Qibing was really a piece of work. Young Master Zhao sure knows how to joke, but Shirhan is a girl. This kind of joke shouldn't be made, right? Wang Sis tried to smooth things over. Master Bing, thank you for your warm hospitality. We're here for treatment, but you're treating us. I'm so sorry. Are you kidding me? I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. Qibing waved his hand and said faintly, Manager Wang, trust me. You should be able to understand what I mean. Wang Sis's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that Qibing really had feelings for Shirhan? From the looks of it, that was most likely the case. Young Master Zhao, please behave yourself. Shirhan is here for treatment, and we'll pay for it. I hope you won't make things difficult for everyone. Wang Sis saw that Zhao Qibing had shed all pretense of cordiality, so there was no need to hide anymore. Chapter 1251. Bodyguard or Spy. Shirhan's face turned very, very pale. Qibing's words were too much. She didn't know what happened to other people, but she, Shirhan, was absolutely innocent. Since her debut, she hadn't even filmed an intimate scene with a man, let alone having a relationship with someone else. Young Master Zhao, I hope you understand that we're paying to see a doctor. Yawang is treating us, and it's not like we're not paying. We can't agree to your request. Wang Sis rejected Qibing's proposal. Paying? You think you're so great just because you're rich? Don't you know who I am? I'm the young master of the hidden house Zhao. What's money in my eyes? I have money. Don't think that just because you have money, I have to treat you. This isn't a hospital. If you think you're rich, you can go to the hospital. But here money doesn't work. Qibing laughed coldly and raged. You either stay with me or leave. Make your choice. You. Su Shirhan was so angry that her body was shaking. Her headache came back again. Su Shihan held her temples as cold sweat dripped down from her forehead. Han, what's wrong? Wang Sis was shocked and quickly held Su Shihan's hand. It's nothing. Wang Sis, I'll be fine in a while. Shihan breathed heavily. What a pain. You reap what you sow. If you'd agreed to my request earlier, this wouldn't have happened, right? Qibing laughed coldly, as if he had Shihan in his grasp. Wang Sis, let's go. Shihan gritted her teeth and stood up. Her personality was like this. She'd rather die than submit. The more you forced her, the more she wouldn't submit. Even if she died, she wouldn't submit to you. If he really cured her, and their relationship improved, Shihan might really give herself to him. After all, humans were sentimental creatures. It was hard to say what would happen after a long time. But what Su Shihan hated the most was this kind of arrogant and threatening people. She would rather die in pain than give in. Han. Wang Sis was in a difficult position. She'd finally found a famous doctor. And now it was like this. Capsule, since they don't want to see us, let's send them off. Zhao Qibing, on the other hand, didn't think much of it. As long as he had Yao Wang as his trump card, he didn't have to worry about not taking the bait. At that time, your headache will be unbearable, and you will have no choice but to come and beg me. Manager Wang, Miss Su, please. Su Jianong stood up and said lightly. At the same time, everything that happened in the private room was clearly heard by the driver of the business car downstairs. What Wang Sis didn't know was that her phone was bugged, and the person who bugged her was her driver and assistant, Su Shihan's bodyguard, Feng Sanhuang. The name Feng Sanhuang sounded like a butler or a servant in a big family. It wasn't common, but of course, it was just a name. It didn't matter if it was a little weird. The important thing was that he was good at martial arts. He had been protecting Su Shihan for the past few years. He was conscientious and responsible. This was also the reason why Wang Sis and Su Shihan valued him so much. But no one would have thought that such a seemingly loyal person would actually install a listening device in Sister Wang's phone. Feng Sanhuang's face darkened as he listened to Qibing's words. He hesitated for a moment before dialing a phone number. Sanhuang? What's the matter? The call went through quickly, and a deep male voice came from the other side. I heard that Han is going to Songshan for a concert? What happened? Why didn't I know about this? I'm sorry, Master. The concert happened too suddenly, and I didn't have time to report. Feng Sanhuang quickly explained. It was last night. Manager Wang made the decision. What's going on? Why the rush? Did something happen? Did the company force Han? The man called Master asked in a deep voice. That's not it. I've already asked someone to hint to Manager Zhang of the entertainment company. He wouldn't force the miss. Feng Sanhuang said. It's like this. I heard that there's a miracle doctor here in Songshan called Zhao Yaowang. He can cure the miss's headache. So Manager Wang brought the miss here to see the doctor. That's why he's holding the concert in Songshan. I see. Feng Sanhuang's master nodded. So what? Han's headache. That Zhao Yaowang gave the miss an unknown pill, and her headache was immediately suppressed. It seems like it's working, but Zhao Yaowang's master, Zhao Qibing, is a pervert. He wants the miss to satisfy some of his desires, or he won't treat the miss. Feng Sanhuang said. Master, do you need me? Zhao Qibing? Who is he? Feng Sanhuang's master asked. Just an illegitimate son of a hidden house. I've already investigated him. Feng Sanhuang said faintly. Feng Sanhuang had only been in Songshan for one morning, and he already knew everything about Zhao Qibing. Although Zhao Qibing had revealed his identity at the banquet, he didn't mention that he was an illegitimate son. This meant that Feng Sanhuang's information network was extremely huge. An illegitimate son of a hidden house? From the hidden house Zhao? Feng Sanhuang's master asked. Yes, that's right. He dared to covet the miss. Feng Sanhuang didn't seem to care about the hidden house Zhao at all. No need. A hidden house isn't a big deal. But I don't want your identity to be exposed right now. At least not now. Feng Sanhuang's master sighed. Soon. It won't be long before I become the head of the sect, and I'll reunite with Han. No one will dare to do anything to her then. Congratulations, Master. Feng Sanhuang was slightly stunned and said with some excitement. He knew that the Master had been waiting for this day for a long time. Once he became the head of the sect, he wouldn't have to be afraid of the pressure from the mistress's family. And let's not talk about this. You just need to protect the miss. This Zhao Yaowang actually has a way to cure Han's headache? Even the doctors on my side can't see any problems. How about this? Don't let Han take the pill randomly, and try to get one of Zhao Yaowang's pills for me to see. Don't let anything go wrong. Feng Sanhuang's master said. Yes, master. I understand, master. Feng Sanhuang nodded. Chapter 1252. Chapter 1250. Zhao Qibing's deduction. Replying to master. There is no news of second mistress for the time being. Feng Sanhuang also sighed. There has been no news for so many years. Back then, second mistress suffered such heavy injuries. I'm afraid that she has met with misfortune. I know. Man, do your best. Sanhuang's master said. Okay, master, miss is coming out. I'll hang up first. Sanhuang saw Shirhan and Wang Sis walk out of the hotel and quickly hung up. He believed that the master wouldn't blame him, because the master wouldn't allow Sanhuang to reveal his identity. All these years, Sanhuang had been a bodyguard for Shirhan, a real bodyguard. Although he was hired by Wang Sis in name, that wasn't the case. He had already helped Shirhan deal with too many things, too many people. Otherwise, Shirhan's career wouldn't be this smooth. In Sanhuang's eyes, anyone who disrespected the miss had to die. Miss Su, Wang Sis, how come you're done eating so soon? Sanhuang saw Shirhan and Wang Sis coming back, and naturally pretended not to know what was going on. This was in line with his identity as a driver, assistant and bodyguard. Su Shirhan had returned to normal by now. She had rested in the bathroom for half a day before coming out. This gave Sanhuang enough time to make a call. Hey, little Feng, this Zhao Qibing isn't a good person. Asking Xiaohan to sleep with him. What the hell? Why don't you take a look at yourself? Who do you think you are? How dare you have thoughts about Xiaohan? Wang Sis shook her head. But he also said that if Xiaohan doesn't sleep with him, there's no need to talk about the treatment. Oh, this guy really isn't a good person. Sanhuang pretended not to know and immediately started scolding Zhao Qibing. Wang Sis, what do we do now? What else can we do? From what Zhao Qibing said, there's no room for compromise. And he seems to be the young master of some noble house. Not interested in money. We can't even spend money. Wang Sis said angrily. I'm afraid there's no hope. Wang Sis, forget it, we won't treat him. It's nothing, I can endure it. Shirhan was optimistic. I've endured it for so many years, what's the difference now? Sigh, it's been hard on Xiaohan. This Zhao Qibing really isn't a good person. Wang Sis sighed. After they left, Jianong asked in a low voice. Master Bing, should we get Sihua to get someone to tie Su Shirhan up? No need. Su Shirhan is a public figure after all. It wouldn't be good to force her. If something really happened, it wouldn't be easy to clean up the mess. Qibing waved his hand. But Su Shirhan, this girl sure knows what to do. He could actually endure the headache. Wasn't it just getting fucked? Can't die. Are there any less performers like them who get fucked? This? Su Jianong hesitated. Master Bing, Su Shirhan hasn't had any scandals since her debut. On her fan club forum, many fans believe that Su Shirhan is still a virgin. Are you serious? She's a virgin? Qibing paused. No way? It seems like it's possible now. Jianong analyzed. Master Bing, think about it. If Su Shirhan wasn't a virgin, letting you sleep with her for a night wouldn't be a problem. It could even cure her headache. But now, it seems like Su Shirhan's attitude is a bit problematic. You're right. Qibing nodded. If Su Shirhan is really a virgin, then I'm really lucky. But I'm afraid that Su Shirhan won't come back. Jianong was worried. If that's the case, Su Shirhan might just leave today. No way? She'd rather stay in pain. Qibing didn't quite believe it. It's hard to say. Jianong shook his head. Leaving Qibing aside, the news of Su Shirhan's concert spread like wildfire. Whether it was on TV or media, they all began to publicize the concert. Su Shirhan looked at the flyer and felt helpless. If she knew this would happen, she wouldn't have stayed here to treat her illness. She wouldn't have organized this concert. But the publicity had already been released, and it was impossible to stop it. Su Sherhan could only grit her teeth and continue rehearsing, trying to make the concert a success. Wow, the publicity for Su Sherhan's concert is out already. Yushu was surprised as she looked at the news on her phone. Anne, I've already booked the tickets through the internet. If I didn't book it in advance, the tickets would probably be sold out. Meng Yao had already prepared for this. You can book tickets with your phone too? Tang Yin was surprised. She wasn't familiar with these high-tech things, and she had never used a phone before. The phone Lin Yi bought for her was only for calling and texting. She didn't use any other functions. Yes, but you need to set up a monthly data plan, Meng Yao said. Right, Lin Yi? Did you talk to Yun Yun about being the host? Anne, I texted her and she said that she would try. Lin Yi nodded. I'm afraid that I won't be able to do it well. This was Tang Yun's first time as a host. She didn't like to show her face in public. She knew that she was very beautiful, and she didn't want people to harass her, so she kept a low profile. But now that she had Lin Yi's protection, no one dared to harass her in school anymore, so Tang Yun was able to relax. Being a host for a public event, while she was still a student, was a good experience. It's fine, they're all good lines. Just read them. Meng Yao didn't feel nervous at all. She was a lady from a rich family, and she was confident. Plus, just do whatever you want. No one will do anything to you if you say something wrong. It's just a school event. It's not an official live broadcast. Hearing Meng Yao say it so casually, Tang Yun calmed down. Right, this is my mom's braised chicken leg. Do you guys want to try it? Originally, when we moved into our new house, we wanted to invite you to Liaoguadi for a feast, but Xiao Xiao got into trouble, so it was delayed. So my mom specially brought some chicken legs. Sure, I love chicken drumsticks, Yushu said as she picked one up with her chopsticks and started eating. The food in the cafeteria wasn't here yet, so she could start eating first. Xiao Xiao picked up a drumstick and started wolfing it down without a care in the world. Chapter 1253. Chapter 1251. Guessed right, not bad. I've tried Mrs. Tang's cooking before. Lin Yi took a drumstick and took a bite. Tang Yun felt very satisfied as she looked at the group, eating the drumsticks. Life sure was strange. Never in her wildest dreams would she have thought that she'd become good friends with Meng Yao and Yushu. The three of them were known as school beauties, but Tang Yun knew very well the difference between her and Meng Yao and Yushu. One was a commoner school beauty, and the other was a rich Mississippi. If it weren't for Lin Yi, Tang Yun wouldn't have been able to eat at the same table with Meng Yao and Yushu even after graduation, let alone going out and living in the same tent. After graduation, everyone would go their separate ways, and they wouldn't meet again. Maybe in a future reunion, Meng Yao would take over Pengzhan Industries, and Shu would be by her side, and they'd become even more dazzling. She, on the other hand, would become like her mother because of time? Now that she thought about it, her mother's snobbishness wasn't unreasonable. Who didn't want to live a better life? It was just that she didn't understand this before, and she never thought about it. Fortunately, the heavens let her meet Lin Yi, and after meeting him, life became completely different. Maybe in a future reunion, she'd be able to sit with the Miss and Shu. Life was really strange. Since Yun Yun and I are the hosts of the event, we won't have the chance to participate in the singing competition anymore. Shu, you and Xiao Xiao can participate if you want, right? Meng Yao asked. If Yao Yao isn't going, I won't go either, Yushu said. If Yun Yun sis isn't going, I won't go either, Xiao Xiao said. Meng Yao and Tang Yun looked at each other speechless. In that instant, the miss felt that Tang Yun had really gotten stronger. Before she knew it, Xiao Xiao had run over to her side, and the two seemed to be evenly matched now. If they were to fight again, it'd be a 2-2 tie. But now the possibility of a war was very, very small. Even if Xiao Xiao really did leave, the three wouldn't be able to go back to the tense situation they used to be. After all, their friendship had been formed, and no one would want to turn against each other again. They could only accept each other and endure it silently. Meng Yao wondered if this was a good thing or a bad thing. Good things and bad things, what does that have to do with me? She had never liked Lin Yi. Yes, she didn't like him. In the afternoon, the school changed to a self-study session, and each class sent out some of their better singers to the field for the competition. Since it didn't concern them, Lin Yi, Mingyao, Yushu, Tang Yun, and Xiao Xiao didn't go watch, instead going to their own classrooms to study. Lingshan drove to Donghai and met Huaijuan in one of the hotel rooms. If it were someone else, Lingshan, naturally, wouldn't go to a place as intimate as a hotel room. If word got out, people would think that she was seducing her boss to get a higher position. But Huaijuan was fine. Everyone in the police station knew that Lingshan had always treated Huaijuan as her big brother, and that Huaijuan had always taken good care of her. Other than their sibling bond, there wasn't anything special between the two. Of course, this was also because Huaijuan was a righteous man, and he didn't have any rumors. Otherwise, it would be hard to say. Director Yang, I hope I'm not interrupting your work? Lingshan was pleasantly surprised to see Huaijuan. Huaijuan had been transferred out not long after she'd been promoted to captain, and she hadn't seen him since. Seeing him here, Lingshan felt a sense of familiarity. Haha Song, this isn't a unit. Just call me young bro, why call me director? It's so distant. Huaijuan was doing pretty well. His injuries were under control after taking the medicine Lin Yi gave him, and it didn't hurt as much anymore. He felt a lot more relaxed. Okay, I'll call you young bro then. Lingshan was very obedient in front of Huaijuan, like a little sister. But Lingshan only saw Huaijuan as an idol. She didn't have any romantic feelings for him. Idolatry and love were two different things. She didn't know why, but she had this feeling that Lin Yi was stronger than the young bro she respected. Lingshan felt very guilty. She was just a normal woman after all, forgetting about her brother when she had a lover. What's wrong? Why's your face turning red and white? Huaijuan asked curiously. It's nothing. Lingshan shook her head, a little embarrassed. I just thought of someone. It's nothing. Oh, who did you think of? You're not thinking of a boyfriend, are you? Huaijuan teased as he looked at Lingshan. Of course not. Lingshan jumped in fright. No way, right? Young bro was a criminal investigator after all. He could tell what was on her mind with just one look? Huaijuan asked casually, not expecting this kind of expression from Lingshan. It seemed like he'd guessed right. Huaijuan couldn't help but smile. Lin Yi. Ah. Lingshan blinked, remembering the relationship between Lin Yi and Huaijuan. She quickly shook her head. Of course not. Looks like I guessed it right. Huaijuan smiled. We're all friends, why do you hide it from me? Yeah. Lin Yi said that you're his comrade? You guys know each other? Lingshan said subconsciously before explaining. There's nothing between me and Lin Yi. We're just normal friends. He doesn't like me. Oh, he told you all this. It seems like you guys are pretty close. Huaijuan looked at Lingshan with a smile that wasn't a smile. Lin Yi didn't really want to talk about the past, but since he'd told Lingshan all this, it meant that they were close to each other. There was no way Lin Yi would tell her all this otherwise. It's alright, just a little better than normal friends. Lingshan wanted to say that she'd taken off her clothes, but she didn't. It was too embarrassing. Lin Yi didn't even do anything when she took off her clothes. Chapter 1254. Huaijuan, surprised, Grandpa introduced me to a boyfriend. How's Yu Feng? I'm so annoyed. Lingshan was troubled just thinking about it. She didn't know what her grandpa was thinking, getting her a fiancé. She wouldn't have told her grandpa about her breakthrough if she'd known. How's Yu Feng? Huaijuan blinked. He was also a child of an aristocratic family. Although the Yang family was not very famous, it was still an authentic aristocratic family. This kind of aristocratic family usually had an old ancestor who was in seclusion. Moreover, they did not compete for the position of one of the 4 aristocratic families. It was enough to have a place among the 5 small aristocratic families. Therefore, no one would offend such an aristocratic family, but they would also not be excluded too much. Naturally, Huaijuan had heard of Yu Feng's name, but what puzzled him was why House Yu and House Song would form a marriage alliance. House Song's advantage wasn't that obvious? Other than the dual practitioner arts, there wasn't anything else worth mentioning. I'm a golden class late phase peak now. Lingshan didn't hide anything from Huaijuan. This is also why House Yu wants to marry me. They think that I'm already a golden class late phase peak at such a young age, and that my future is limitless. Especially if I dual practice with House U. Everyone will benefit. You. Golden class late phase peak. Huaijuan's eyes were wide as if he'd seen a ghost. He looked at Lingshan, unable to believe what she was saying. Huaijuan spoke after a while, shocked. Song, if I remember correctly, you were only a golden class early phase peak when I left Songshan a while ago, right? How did you become a mystic late phase peak all of a sudden? Young bro, if I tell you, can you keep it a secret? Lingshan didn't want to say it, but after some hesitation, she felt that since Huaijuan was Lin Yi's comrade, and the two were close, it wouldn't hurt to tell him. But the condition was that he had to keep it a secret. Lingshan naturally knew the importance of this. If people knew that Lin Yi could quickly increase someone else's strength, they'd come for Lin Yi or cause trouble for Lin Yi. That wasn't something Lingshan wanted to see. That was why she was being so careful. Of course. But you don't have to tell me if you want to keep it a secret. I understand. Huaijuan didn't force Lingshan to tell himself. Everyone had their own secrets. Young bro, what's your relationship with Lin Yi? Lingshan asked. Oh. Huaijuan paused, not expecting Lingshan to ask about Lin Yi instead of answering his question. Could it be that Lingshan's sudden leveling up had something to do with Lin Yi? He didn't want to hide anything. Lin Yi was my captain before. He's Huaijuan. You've guessed. He's someone I respect, and he's helped a lot. Lin Yi Shu, Lin Yi Lin who? Lin Yi is have told. Who? I who Lin am I who dash I Lin. Who dash I Lin? I've been injured, you know that. But the reason why I'm looking so good is because of Lin Yi. Ah. Lingshan paused. She didn't expect Lin Yi to be Huaijuan's captain. No wonder he was so good. And solving cases for her seemed like a piece of cake to him. She admired Young Bro so much, and Lin Yi was Young Bro's captain. That meant that he was even better. If that was the case, then it wasn't a big deal for him to think that Lin Yi was stronger than Young Bro. Even Young Bro himself admitted it. With that thought, Lingshan felt a lot less guilty. My level up. It's all because of Lin Yi. Lingshan sighed. Surprised, right? I'm surprised too. You've been dual practicing. Huaijuan asked, frowning. No. Lingshan shook her head. It's a little embarrassing to say it aloud. I tried to seduce him, but I failed. Lingshan didn't bother hiding it in front of her brother. So what if it was funny? Huaijuan, however, didn't mind Lingshan's seductive words. He focused on the first half of the sentence. You guys didn't dual practicing. So does that mean that your strength was directly increased by him? That's right. One day, not even a day, and I leveled up. Lingshan smiled bitterly. I really don't know if he has more tricks up his sleeves. And Young Bro, I won't hide it from you. But the last few cases I solved were all solved by Lin Yi. Thanks to your advice. Solving cases, I know that. Eagle. Lin Yi was in our team back then. And he had a very sharp sense of smell, able to detect things that normal people can't. Huaijuan said. But the leveling up thing, I don't really know. But Lingshan, don't tell anyone about this. You have to keep it a secret, okay? This matter is too important. I know. Other than Young Bro, my sister is the only one who knows about this. Lingshan said solemnly. She knew how serious this was. Even if Lin Yi didn't seem to care much about it. He'd already leveled up the dog to a golden class late phase peak. Alright, let's end this topic here. Huaijuan didn't plan on asking for more details. He'd ask Lin Yi about the details himself. And he believed that Lin Yi wouldn't hide anything from him. It wouldn't be good for Lingshan to say it already. It'd be bad if Lin Yi did something to her. And so, Huaijuan changed the topic. Song, tell me why you're here. What kind of trouble are you in? Yeah, it's one missing person case after another. Lingshan took out the files and handed it to Huaijuan. Young Bro, look at these files. From the looks of it, the missing people in these cases aren't related at all. But the cause of their disappearance is pretty much the same. Yeah, I'll take a look first. Huaijuan nodded and took the files, sitting on the bed and flipping through them. Lingshan didn't say anything, only waiting quietly. Chapter 1255. There's a clue. Yes. Lingshan nodded. Young bro, I feel like these cases seem normal, but there's so many coincidences that it's unusual. I feel like there's a possibility of combining all these cases, and so I'm putting them all together. But up until now, I still haven't figured out the motive of the culprit or the criminal organization. What's their goal? Even if they're the ones who caught the missing people, what's the point of them catching them? That's right. The fact that you're able to think of all this means that you've done your analysis. Huaijuan nodded. But haven't you noticed that all these missing people have one thing in common? What is it? Their occupations, their ages, they're all different. They don't even know each other. Lingshan blinked. They're the lowest class of workers in society, and none of them have good financial conditions. Huaijuan said as he pointed at the case files. None of these people's families are rich. If that's the case, then we can make a bold guess. Why would these people run away after beating people up? According to the case files, the victims in these cases are basically all lightly injured, or even worse than that. The suspects are the majority, and they only need to pay civil compensation. If their families were rich, they could just pay some money. Why would they run away? Huaijuan continued. Of course, this is just on the surface. Looking at it from a deeper level, these people's crimes and escapes are pretty much the same, and we can't just use superficial reasons to analyze it. Let's make a bold hypothesis. If I'm the mastermind, and I'm looking for people to do things for me to achieve a certain goal, I'll probably kill them after I'm done. Then, I'll create some false pretenses to confuse the police and the public, making them think that these people ran away on their own. It's completely reasonable. So you're saying that these people's disappearances were planned by someone, and that the missing people were even cooperating with the mastermind to put on a show? Lingshan said, shocked. She'd felt that something wasn't right before, but she couldn't put her finger on it. Now that Huaijuan said it, she understood. Yes, Huaijuan nodded. The missing person didn't cooperate, and the mastermind alone wouldn't be able to pull this off. How many people do you think would do something like that if they just ran away after beating someone up? Even if it happens occasionally, it's very rare. How could so many people run away at once? Then, why would they cooperate? Is it because of benefits? Lingshan wasn't an idiot. She figured it out right away. This brings us back to the common point that I mentioned earlier. They are all from poor families. If people like them are given a chance to make money and are enticed, perhaps 50% of them will take the bait. Huaijuan nodded. So, I think you shouldn't put your focus on finding the missing people. If I'm not mistaken, they're either dead or locked up, and you won't have much of a chance of finding them. Your main focus should be on visiting some of the lower levels of society and asking around to see if there have been any recent attempts to use benefits to entice people to do something. I don't believe that the suspect can convince everyone 100% of the time. There must be people who refused, and you should look for clues from those who refused. Ah, that's right. Young bro, hearing you say that makes me feel like I've been enlightened. Lingshan said. Haha, it'll get better after a while. It's actually a very simple problem. I've just been exposed to it a lot. Huaijuan smiled. I think that as long as you follow this train of thought when you get back, you'll be able to solve the case pretty soon. Yes, thank you for the guidance, young bro. Lingshan said sincerely. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about you and House Yu. Since you're engaged to House Yu, then Lin Yi. Huaijuan was still a little worried about Lin Yi. After all, House Yu was a big family, and it wouldn't be good if they got into a conflict. House Yu's way of doing things is very domineering. If they find out about Lin Yi, I'm afraid that they'll do something to him. Do something? Lingshan's face was a little weird. She smiled bitterly. Young bro, you're from a noble house as well. Didn't you hear about the big thing that happened in Songshan? What big thing? Huaijuan paused. I've been busy with the case these days, so I didn't pay attention to what the noble houses are doing. We, House Yang, on the other hand, are only able to maintain our position as one of the 5 small noble houses. As long as the elder of House Yang is there, our position won't be affected, so I didn't pay too much attention. Lin Yi and House Yu are enemies now. Lin Yi crippled House Yu's Yu Kuan and killed his father, Yu Bide. House Yu and Lin Yi have been enemies for a long time now. Lingshan smiled bitterly. Do you think that there's a chance that Lin Yi and House Yu would be able to resolve the conflict even if this didn't happen? Seriously? Huaijuan said as he stood up from the bed in shock. He didn't think that Lin Yi would be this strong. He'd only been in Songshan for a few days, and he'd already killed 2 masters from the head of the 9 noble houses. House Yu, wasn't this a little too strong? Huaijuan was worried that Lin Yi would be at a disadvantage in the conflict with House Yu. But who would have thought that it was House Yu who was at a disadvantage now? Huaijuan couldn't help but sigh. Captain is captain after all. Anyone else would have died a long time ago if they killed 2 House Yu. But boss is perfectly fine. What a strong man. Yeah. Lingshan couldn't believe it as well. But this was the type of man she liked. She wouldn't like him if he was a coward, hiding when something happened. Forget it, I'm not going to get involved. Your business is too complicated. Huaijuan smiled bitterly. You want to stay here tonight? I'll treat you to dinner? It's okay. I can't wait to get back to work on this case. Lingshan was starting to get impatient now that she had a direction to work on. Alright, next time then. I'm tight on time here as well. Huaijuan sighed. Bring Lin Yi with you next time, we can have a good chat. I have something to talk to him about. Forget it, I'll call him alone. Chapter 1256. Finding the mastermind after Lingshan left. Huaijuan picked up his phone and dialed Lin Yi's number. He had some things he wanted to talk to Lin Yi about, but after what Lingshan said today, he couldn't wait any longer and couldn't wait to meet up with Lin Yi. Huaijuan didn't tell Lin Yi before, because he didn't want Lin Yi to get involved. Huaijuan knew Lin Yi's personality, and there were some things that Lin Yi couldn't pretend not to know once he knew. But if Lin Yi really did something, it'd be very dangerous. But now, after hearing Lingshan's words, Huaijuan realized that he'd underestimated his captain. They hadn't even done anything yet, and they'd already become enemies with House Yu, killing 2 of their masters. There were some things that Huaijuan couldn't hide anymore. The reason why Huaijuan stayed in Donghai for this period of time was because this international drug trafficking case had something to do with what happened in the past. Otherwise, Huaijuan wouldn't have left his work in Songshan and come here to help. Usually, it was the captain or vice captain of the criminal police who was seconded to help with a case, and it was rare for the vice director to be seconded. This was because Huaijuan knew this drug trafficking case quite well, and he'd had a conflict with this drug cartel before. But as the investigation progressed, Huaijuan became more and more frustrated and helpless. Behind the drug trafficking group, there were some secrets that no one knew about. Back then, Huaijuan had returned from a mission in North Africa under orders to track down an international drug trafficker. It was this mission that caused his entire team to be annihilated, and Huaijuan had barely escaped with his life, but he'd almost died there as well. But all his martial arts were crippled, and his meridians were destroyed. Huaijuan had thought that it was just a coincidence, but a couple of days ago, he'd learned some secrets from a mid-level leader of a drug cartel who'd just been captured. The information the boss knew was vague, but it was enough for Huaijuan to understand what the mastermind was trying to do. They were vicious. Huaijuan knew that Lin Yi would avenge him and the Pangolin brothers if he found out about this. But Huaijuan didn't want Lin Yi to get hurt because of him. Lin Yi wasn't a match for them yet. But now, it seemed that none of that mattered. Brother Jun, why are you calling me at this hour? You're back in Songshan? Lin Yi was studying with Xiao Xiao in the classroom when Huaijuan's call came in. No, I'm still in Donghai. Can we talk on the phone? Huaijuan asked. What is it? Lin Yi looked around. There weren't many people in the class. Only Xiao Xiao was beside him. Most of the people were watching the singing competition on the field, and other than Xiao Xiao, no one else could hear Lin Yi's words. Lingshan came just now to ask me about the case, but she brought some news with her. There wasn't that much hypocrisy between the two, and Huaijuan went straight to the point. Her strength increased, from early phase peak to late phase peak of the golden class. Is that because of you? Yes, you can too. Lin Yi didn't hesitate at all. This is also why I called you last time. I can fix your meridians and bring your strength up to golden class late phase peak. Ah. Lenny admitting it so straightforwardly made Huaijuan a little uncomfortable. Huaijuan knew that Lenny wouldn't hide it from him. But leveling up wasn't something that could be done just like that. There had to be a lot of hard work involved. And Lenny helping Lingshan might be because Lenny liked her. But Huaijuan, even if he was Lin Yi's brother, there was no need for Lin Yi to do something like this, was there? Yet, Lenny didn't even seem to think about it before blurting it out. Huaijuan was touched. But he couldn't help but think that Lin Yi would definitely avenge him, and the armadillo, if he were to tell Huaijuan about it. And so, Huaijuan decided to remind Lin Yi not to be impulsive. He had to tell him, but he had to warn him beforehand. Golden class late phase peak. Sounds tempting. Huaijuan smiled. Then I'll thank you first. You don't have to thank me. Jun bro, you called me just for this? Lin Yi didn't think that Huaijuan was someone that impulsive, right? No, it's just a question. There's something important I need to tell you. But you have to promise me that you won't be impulsive after you hear the news. You have to plan before you act. And don't do anything you're not confident in yet. Huaijuan said seriously after a sigh. Oh, what is it? Lin Yi was curious at Huaijuan's seriousness. Jun bro, what are you talking about? It's about my injury and Armadillo's death. Huaijuan said sorrowfully. I think I can guess who the mastermind is. Mastermind? Isn't it an international drug lord? Lin Yi's heart skipped a beat. Yes, but based on the evidence we have, we can deduce that this international drug trafficking organization is connected to Houseu. Huaijuan said. Which Houseu? Lin Yi's heart raced. Don't worry, it's not that hidden Houseu. It's the common world's Houseu. Huaijuan smiled. Jun bro, you're joking again. Lin Yi didn't want to talk about the past and changed the topic. Are you sure it's Houseu? They should be the mastermind. These few years, the noble houses have been getting into accidents. I'm guessing that if Houseu wants to grow, they'll have to attack the other noble houses. I'm the hope of House Yang's rise in this generation, and I'm already a golden class at 16. My potential is limitless. So Houseu wants to kill me, but Armadillo and my other teammates are involved. Huaijuan guessed. Houseu. Very good. Lin Yi repeated the name faintly. Eagle, don't do anything stupid. Huaijuan's heart skipped a beat. He knew Lin Yi's personality. Lin Yi said it calmly, but Lin Yi didn't have any emotions when he talked about Houseu. Back on the battlefield, this was how Lin Yi acted before he was about to kill someone. Chapter 1257. Chapter 1255. Pangolin's sister. Haha, don't worry, Jun bro. I won't do things I'm not confident in. Lin Yi smiled. Yes, if it were the old Lin Yi, he would have gone straight to Houseu. But the current Lin Yi was much more mature than before. Revenge required strategy too. He'd be an idiot if he gave himself up instead of getting his revenge. I'm glad you said that. Huaijuan let out a sigh of relief. It's just a guess though. I'm confident, but the evidence is still too little. If Houseu really is connected to the drug cartel, even if you don't do anything to him, I'll report it to the Secret Investigation Bureau and have them punish Houseu. A guess is enough. I don't like them anymore. One more guess is just one more reason to kill them. Lin Yi said faintly. There's no place to vent, so I'll just put this on their heads. That. Do whatever you want. Huaijuan smiled bitterly. Right, there's one more thing. When I was reorganizing the cases, I pulled out the files of our fallen comrades. I wasn't a cop back then, so I didn't have the authority. After I came back, I didn't want to remember the past, so I chose to forget it on purpose. But when I pulled out the files a few days ago, I realized that many of our comrades had parents and even younger siblings at home. It hurt my heart to see them, so I decided to visit them one by one. I'll leave Pangolin to you then. Pangolin? He still has a family. Lin Yi's expression was a little moved as his memories returned to that time. That kid always had a smile on his face. He remembered that he would always look at a picture on his pocket watch when there was no one around, not letting anyone see it. Lin Yi used to tease him, saying that he was looking at a picture of his sweetheart. Making Pangolin blush, Lin Yi sighed. His former comrade in arms, where are you now? Did you really die? Pangolin has a sister, and coincidentally she's also in Songshan. I just found out, Huaijuan said, a little emotional. Sister? He has a sister? In Songshan? Lenny was stunned. Could it be that the photo he saw before was of his sister? Yes, his sister is 16 years old this year, and is in grade 9. She should be taking the senior high school entrance examination this year. Huaijuan said. Her sister's Ingziyu, in Fushan Middle School's class 6. Ingziyu. Lenny sighed secretly. He didn't know how a little girl like her had survived all these years. Does she have any parents or relatives? No, Pangolin's parents were also special agents, and they both died in another mission. Pangolin has been raising his little sister since she was young. Huaijuan said. Armadillo received special training early on, in order to support his sister. He became a secret agent, but that's enough. Lenny felt the urge to cry. He didn't know how Ziyu got here. Her parents were dead, and her brother was sacrificed. Did she know about this? I found out through the household registration system. If she wasn't in Songshan, it wouldn't be easy to find her. She's already moved, and her brother's certificate and pension haven't been received. Huaijuan smiled bitterly. If I didn't look into it, I would have missed it. So you're saying that this Ingziyu doesn't know that her brother died? Lin Yi's heart grew heavier. How was he supposed to tell Ziyu that he had to go see her? She wanted him to personally tell her that her brother was dead? Yes, Huaijuan sighed. That's why I wanted you to go, Captain. You're about the same age as her. You should be easier to communicate with. I wouldn't know how to tell her. Don't bullshit, I'm about the same age as her? She's just a little girl. How am I supposed to tell her? Lenny said helplessly. If you really don't want to go, then wait for me to get back to Songshan. We'll go together and give her the certificate and pension, Huaijuan said, knowing the pain Lenny was feeling. Let's forget about the certificate and pension for now. We didn't find the body, right? Maybe Armadillo's still fine. Lenny quickly stopped her. According to what Huaijuan said, Ziyu probably didn't know about her brother's death yet, and she was about to take her high school entrance exams. It'd be a huge blow to her if she found out. So Lenny didn't want to tell her this straight away. At least wait until she got into high school, right? That's right, no news is good news. Huaijuan nodded. All right, I'll go see her in a bit. I'm free anyway. It was fine if Lenny didn't know, but now that he knew Armadillo had a sister, Lenny couldn't just ignore it. He had to see if Ziyu was doing well. Armadillo was gone, and he was her brother. He had to take care of her. Armadillo was like Huaijuan. They were friends who'd gone through life and death together. Okay, that's all for now. Don't worry about House Yu too much, don't alert them. Huaijuan's last sentence was actually to keep Lin Yi in check. Don't worry, Jun bro. I know what I'm doing. Lin Yi nodded. After hanging up, Lin Yi wasn't in a good mood. Although there were many kids like Ziyu who'd lost their parents and brother, they had nothing to do with him. But Armadillo's sister was different. Lin Yi was a heartless person, but he was a person who valued relationships. Lin Yi was cold to strangers and enemies, but he cared about his friends and lovers. Lin Yi, honey, what's wrong? You don't seem very happy. Xiao Xiao had been paying attention to Lin Yi's face. She didn't know who Lin Yi was talking to, but she could feel the heaviness in Lin Yi's heart. It's nothing. Xiao Xiao, are you free now? Want to go out with me? Lin Yi asked. Oh, you mean the sister of that person you were talking about? Xiao Xiao didn't really understand what Lin Yi was talking about, but she got the gist of it. Yes, the sister of one of my comrades. Lin Yi sighed. That comrade sacrificed himself. He was my good brother. Chapter 1258. She was Ingziyu? Lin Yi didn't drive today. He stopped a taxi at the school gates and headed to Fushan High. On the way, Lin Yi got a text from Huaijuan, sending Ziyu's information and pictures. Wow, she's pretty. Lin Yi, honey, are you interested in her? Xiao Xiao smiled as she looked at the pretty girl on Lin Yi's phone. Lin Yi was speechless. He glared at Xiao Xiao. She's just a little girl, why would I be interested? That's obviously from her ID. She must be prettier in real life if she's this pretty. Xiao Xiao said. Not as pretty as you. Lin Yi didn't know what to say. Really, really, really? Xiao Xiao's eyes turned into crescents after hearing Lin Yi's words. She looked at Lin Yi excitedly and blissfully. Really? Lin Yi nodded. Then me Tang Yun sis, Yao Yao sis and Shu who's the prettiest? Xiao Xiao continued. All of you. Lin Yi didn't want to start a war, but he was being truthful. There was no way to tell who was the prettiest, just like Chun Hua and Qiu Yu. They were both the prettiest, and they had their own specialties. It wasn't easy to put them together. Man, I knew you'd say that. But that's fine, it's the fairest. Xiao Xiao wasn't annoyed. I thought you'd say Tang Yun sis is the prettiest. Haha. Lin Yi shrugged, not saying much. Since they were in the taxi, Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao didn't talk about anything too personal. When they were about to reach Fushan High School, the taxi driver stopped the car on the side of the road not far away and said, You too, I'll stop here. I don't dare to drive over and smash my car again. Ah! Lin Yi was stunned. What do you mean? You guys came to Fushan High. Don't you know what it looks like? The driver looked at Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao oddly. What? Is there something wrong with Fushan High School? Lin Yi wasn't from Songshan, so naturally he didn't know much about Fushan High. Xiao Xiao, on the other hand, was in Songshan First High for a while before transferring to another school. Fushan High was very far from the main city, and if it weren't for Lin Yi, she wouldn't even know that there was a high school like this in Songshan. Fushan Middle School is the most chaotic middle school in the city. The students there smoke, drink, fight, take drugs, and have promiscuous relationships. In short, it can't be any worse. The driver shook his head. This is a hooligan school. The students who come out of here are either arrested or become hooligans. Ah! Lin Yi broke out in a cold sweat. It can't be right? Ziyu went to school here? Smoking, drinking, and fighting was one thing. But taking drugs and having promiscuous relationships? A few black lines appeared on Lin Yi's head. There aren't any good students here? The ones that study hard? Xiao Xiao's face was a little weird as well, but Xiao Xiao was more natural. She was a problem student in the past, messing around in society. Even good students are led astray. The driver curled his lips. If they really wanted to study, they'd have applied to transfer to other schools already. Here, they're all degenerating. I only dared to drive you here, because you two are from Songshan First High. I wouldn't even dare drive a student wearing the Fushan High uniform. Not only would I not pay, I'd probably get beaten up and smash the car. So messy. As Lin Yi sighed, he felt bad as well. She was his comrade's sister after all. If she really did drugs and promiscuous relationships, Lin Yi really wouldn't know what to do. Lin Yi could force her to detox, but he still felt guilty. Yeah, I gotta go. Good luck, you guys. Don't you see there's a fight going on over there? I don't know where they're from, but they're all armed with knives and metal sticks. The driver pointed at the school gates and said to Lin Yi, Thank you. Lin Yi nodded and got off the car with Xiao Xiao. Fushan High, now that he mentioned it, I do have some impression of it. There were indeed some delinquents that came from Fushan High back in society, Xiao Xiao said after some thought. Who cares, let's see how Ziyu is. Lin Yi's steps were a little heavy. He wondered how he'd treat Ziyu, who lived a life of debauchery. The old Lin Yi wouldn't bother with people like this, but now he had to. Fushan Middle School looked very shabby. The red brick walls of the school were from an unknown era. There were some advertisements for STD treatment and certificate applications. There were also some small advertisements for K-powder. It was enough to show how chaotic the school was. Sure enough, at the school gate, there were two groups of students confronting each other. Every student held a knife and a metal rod in their hands. Some of them were shirtless, some of them had shaved their heads, and some of them even had tattoos. It was similar to a gang fight in gangster movies. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. These people blocked the school gates, and Lin Yi had to wait for them to finish fighting if he wanted to go over. These people were nothing in Lin Yi's eyes, and killing them was easier than killing ants. But Lin Yi didn't want to stick his nose in other people's business. These people's lives had nothing to do with him, and he'd have one less scum of society if he killed them. If they didn't die, they'd be taken in by Zhou Tiandi or Cihua after graduation, becoming scum of society. Lin Yi held Xiao Xiao's hand, watching the fight from the side. Ziyu, you little bitch, I'll give you two choices today. One, be my girl, and your underling will be my underling. If you stay by my side, you'll be able to eat and drink well. When others see you, they'll respectfully call you sister-in-law. You'll be even better than you are now. Blocking the entrance of Fushan Middle School, a scar-faced man, who was the leader of a group of people, raised a shiny knife and shouted at the other group of people. Pft! Lin Yi's eyes went wide, as if someone stepped on his tail. He almost jumped up. What? Ingziyu? Lin Yi looked in the direction the scar-faced man was pointing at, and saw a girl in black tights, holding a knife in her hand as well. Behind her was a group of students with knives, guns and clubs as well, but this group was clearly smaller than the scar-faced man's group. Chapter 1259. Chapter 1257. Telling you to scram, but her face didn't look as pretty as it did in the picture. It was filled with coldness. She was pretty, but the hatred in her eyes made Lin Yi frown. This girl seemed to be a gang leader? She seemed to be cutting people up quite a bit. Lin Yi had thought that Ziyu was a problem girl, but he didn't think it would be to this extent. About the same as you used to be? Lin Yi looked at Xiao Xiao. I'm not as strong as her. I'm just messing around. But she's already cutting people up with her gang. Xiao Xiao shook her head. Lin Yi nodded. Xiao Xiao was right. Xiao Xiao had been studying in a better school, and even as a big sister, she couldn't be like Ziyu, bringing a bunch of gang members with her. This is Ziyu? Fuck. Lin Yi couldn't help but curse. Lin Yi normally wouldn't curse, but he really couldn't hold it in today. What? You really want to fuck her? Xiao Xiao blinked. Lin Yi glared at her. Don't joke around. I don't know how to do it. I'm a bit helpless. I thought she was a punching bag with no parents, no big brother to take care of her. But we'll see. Xiao Xiao understood Lin Yi's feelings. Bullshit, Scarface Bear. Have you forgotten how you got that scar on your head? How dare you come to Fushan High and act all cocky? Ziyu didn't back down. You want to hit on me? Why don't you take a look at yourself? Your face is simply a work of the gods. Why don't you just die? Ziyu, who doesn't know how to talk. You're right, I got this scar because of you, but so what? I swore right then that I'd get you on my bed and fuck you to death. Scarface, who was called Scar Bear, snorted and said, However, I, Scar Bear, am not the same as before. I'm now working for Brother Guang. Brother Guang has already given me Fushan Middle School's territory. I'm here today to take over Fushan Middle School. Otherwise, do you think I would have dared to come here if I wasn't sure? Why don't you look at the people behind me? Ziyu's face changed after hearing the words. She felt that something wasn't right too. This Scar Bear was just a gangster. How did he get so many people? Moreover, the knives and iron rods in their hands were very professional. It turned out that they had come from another dock. So what if there are more people? When Filong Bro comes, your men will all die here today. Ziyu frowned, but she wasn't too worried. Fushan High School was divided into 3 factions. Although he was the smallest faction, he had a good relationship with the leader of the largest faction, Nan Filong. Thus, Nan Filong couldn't just stand by and watch if something happened to him. Southern Filong? How naive of you. Women are indeed naive. Scar Bear laughed, not caring at all. How long has it been since I came here? Your follower went to tell Nan Filong long ago, right? Where is he? Why isn't he here yet? Ziyu's face changed. It wasn't that she didn't think of this, but she had a good relationship with Nan Filong. She didn't think that he wouldn't come, but now. Haha? What? You don't believe me? I'll tell you the truth. Nan Filong has already made me his boss. Moreover, I've promised him that I'll help him consolidate Fushan High's power. From now on, he'll be the only boss in Fushan High. Scar Bear laughed heartily. Do you think Nan Filong will stick up for you? You bitch. Do you know why Nan Filong would help you? Because he's always wanted to fuck you. But you didn't let him, so he gave you to me. Do you really think you're friends with Nan Filong? Ziyu's face was green. She didn't want to believe it, but Scar Bear's words had to be true. Scar Bear, I'm telling you, I won't follow you even if I die. You're disgusting. Ziyu gritted her teeth. Either you let me go, and we'll be fine, or I'll bring my men to fight you. Fuck. Scar Bear spat on the ground, cursing. Ziyu, don't be so shameless. Fight. I'm telling you, after I kill all your men, I'll tie you up and get my brothers to gang rape you. You'll be treated differently then. You dare? Ziyu said. I'll kill you. Haha, come at me then. Let's see who kills who. Scar Bear waved his hand, signaling his men to get ready. Lenny, honey, it's usually time for the master to show up at this point in a TV show. Aren't you going to show up? Xiao Xiao called out. Ha! Lenny smiled bitterly, speechless. What master? But Lenny couldn't just ignore this. Did he come at the right time? If he'd come a second later, Ziyu would have been killed already? Otherwise, he would have been gang raped. From the looks of it, Ziyu wasn't some random girl, or she wouldn't be this stubborn. This made Lenny feel a little better. Alright, this has nothing to do with you. Get the hell out of here. Lenny walked over and looked at Scar Bear before pointing at Ziyu. I have business with her. Wah. Scar Bear froze. Scar Bear's men froze. Even Ziyu and her underlings froze. They didn't think that someone would appear out of nowhere. Was this guy an idiot? How could he say something so stupid? Even Ziyu was wondering if there was something wrong with this guy's brain. Telling Scar Bear to fuck off. Ha 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 ha. Immediately, Scar Bear and his subordinates burst into laughter. They looked at Lin Yi as if they were looking at an idiot. Ignorance was bliss after all. Kid, what did you just say? You're telling me to fuck off? Scar Bear dug his ear, acting like he didn't hear him clearly. He wasn't annoyed at all, looking at Lin Yi with interest, as if he was looking at a dead man. As far as he was concerned, there was no need to get angry over an idiot like Lin Yi. Lin Yi was an idiot, and he could kill him anytime he wanted. Scar Bear wouldn't bother with an idiot. Yeah, I'm telling you to fuck off. Lin Yi looked at Scar Bear. Why aren't you leaving? Chapter 1260. My words don't work. Lin Yi looked up at Scar Bear and saw that he had no intention of leaving. He frowned. What's good about it? Are you retarded? If you're good, then get the fuck out. Why are you still standing here? Me. Scar Bear looked like he heard the funniest joke in the world. He pointed at himself. In Songshan, there are people who dare to tell me to fuck off, but it's definitely not you. My words don't work? Lin Yi asked. You have some self-awareness. Scar Bear laughed when he heard Lin Yi. My words don't work? Then I won't say it. Lin Yi nodded. You shouldn't have said it. Who do you think you are? Yelling in front of me, Scar Bear. Do you want to die? Scar Bear laughed coldly and said proudly. Kneel down right now and crawl under my crotch, then I'll let this go. Lin Yi didn't wait for him to finish and slapped him on the face. Half of Scar Bear's face caved in. His teeth and cheekbones were probably all broken. Since words don't work, then I'll use force. Lin Yi slapped again and caved in the other half of Scar Bear's face. What are you doing? Let go of Brother Bear. Scar Bear's lackeys were confused by Lin Yi's actions. When they reacted, they pointed at Lin Yi and yelled. Lin Yi, however, didn't care about the lackeys behind Scar Bear at all. He kicked Scar Bear's crotch, and the sound of something shattering accompanied the pain. Scar Bear clutched his crotch with both hands as he fell to the ground, rolling around in pain. Can't you just fuck off yourself? You still want me to fuck off for you? Lin Yi shook his head and kicked Scar Bear again. Another crisp sound rang out. Scar Bear's leg was broken by Lin Yi's kick. The reason why Lin Yi did this to Scar Bear was because he wanted to do something to Ziyu. Since she was the pangolin's little sister, then Lin Yi treated her as his own sister. If someone wanted to harm her, then Lin Yi would naturally eliminate them. However, in public, it was not impossible for Lin Yi to kill Scar Bear. But it was possible for him to cripple him. As long as this kind of gangster didn't die, no one would have the nerve to call the police. Scar Bear's underlings were dumbfounded. They had seen ruthless characters, but they had never heard of someone as ruthless as Lin Yi. With just a few words, Lin Yi had broken both sides of Scar Bear's cheekbones. Not only did he turn into a eunuch, he even broke one of his legs. Just what kind of person was this? This brat looked very amiable, but he didn't expect that he would be so merciless when he attacked. Just who are you? How dare you hurt Brother Bear? Don't you know who our Brother Bear is working for? One of Scar Bear's lackeys questioned Lin Yi. But it was obvious that he was afraid of Lin Yi's ferocity as well. You want to stand up for him? Lin Yi looked at the underling. The underling looked at Lin Yi's cold eyes, and he was a little scared. If he said he wanted revenge for Scar Bear, wouldn't Lin Yi beat him up just like Scar Bear? And so, the underling wasn't stupid. After some hesitation, he waved his blade and yelled to the underlings behind him. Everyone attack! Kill this kid and get revenge for Brother Bear. Ouch! But the next moment, just as he finished speaking, there was a scream. The blade that was originally in his hand had somehow fallen into Lin Yi's hand and stabbed into his thigh. The underling was in so much pain that his eyes rolled back, and he fainted on the ground. He was even more vulnerable than Scar Bear. Are you also here to avenge them? Lin Yi ignored the underling from before and looked up at the remaining people. No. The man closest to Lin Yi was scared out of his wits. He threw the blade in his hand to the ground. He was afraid that if he spoke too slowly, there would be 2 more holes in his thighs. The guy in front of him was obviously a violent madman. His speed was unbelievable. Before he could see what was going on, there were already 2 people lying on the ground. So this person didn't have the intention to resist Lin Yi at all. He was afraid that Lin Yi would beat him up, so he quickly put down his weapon and surrendered. If there was 1, there would be 2. If there was 2, there would be 3. The people who originally wanted to fight with Lin Yi saw that their companions had surrendered. Who would be stupid enough to continue looking for trouble with Lin Yi? We don't have the intention to take revenge. We'll leave now. A few people near Lin Yi had already turned around and were ready to leave. Wait, carry these 2 pieces of trash away. Lin Yi pointed to Scar Bear and his underling on the ground. Although these people who were preparing to leave were afraid and unwilling to turn back, who knew what the consequences would be if they didn't go back? Fortunately, this person seemed to be reasonable. As long as they did what he said, then there shouldn't be any problems. So, the few people who left turned back, carried Scar Bear and his underling, and ran away dejectedly. In fact, these people only felt that they had lost face. As for whether or not they wanted to avenge Scar Bear and his subordinate, who had his thigh slashed, that was secondary. These people were the lowest rung of society, and Scar Bear had just gotten his position, and it was Guang Bro who sent him over. Other than this underling who was his direct follower, the others were all sent by Guang Bro. All they wanted was to report this to Guang Bro as soon as possible. You're looking for me? Ziyu looked at Lin Yi oddly. This guy's methods were clearly very cruel, even more so than the gangster she was working for. But the more it was like this, the more she couldn't figure out where Lin Yi was coming from. Was he here to help? Or did he have some other purpose? As far as Ziyu was concerned, Lin Yi's arrival was too much of a coincidence. Scar Bear's men were here looking for trouble, and Lin Yi appeared and dealt with them. But Ziyu had never seen Lin Yi before, and she didn't know Lin Yi. She hadn't even heard of this person before. Ziyu? Ziyu asked as Lin Yi studied the girl in front of him. You're looking for me? You don't know who I am? Ziyu was even more puzzled. Lin Yi didn't seem to know her, and wanted to confirm if she was Ziyu or not. I'm Jije's friend, Lin Yi said. Chapter 1261. Chapter 1259. Taking over your guardianship. Your brother went on a mission. It'll take a couple years, and he won't be back for a while. He gave you to me to discipline you for him, Lin Yi said with a frown as he looked at Ziyu's clothes. TCH. Why should I believe you? Discipline me for my brother? Ziyu found it funny and snorted. What right do you have to discipline me? My brother doesn't care about me. He's him, I'm me. Lin Yi reached out and tousled Ziyu's colorful hair. Dye it back to black, or I'll shave you bald. Ah, don't touch my hair. My hairstyle. Ziyu screamed, glaring at Lin Yi. I'll kill you. Whatever, as long as you can beat me. Lin Yi ignored her, continuing to cause trouble for Ziyu. Don't wear those tights anymore, it'll affect your growth. Those boobs are so big they're squeezed out, right? Throw that bra away, or it'll get deformed sooner or later. Ah! Ziyu was going crazy. She wanted to kill Lin Yi with one slash. But thinking back to how Lin Yi treated Scar Bear and his men, she was sure that if she attacked Lin Yi, she'd be the one getting beaten up. He was her brother's friend, and he wouldn't kill her. But it wouldn't be easy for him. Ziyu's men stared at each other, not daring to laugh. They'd seen Lin Yi's strength firsthand, so they didn't dare to say anything when Lin Yi insulted their boss. They knew that Ziyu had a very strong brother, a special ops soldier very strong. He could tell just from Ziyu's kung fu alone. Otherwise, a woman like Ziyu wouldn't have this much prestige, becoming the big sister boss. Since Lin Yi was Ziyu's brother's friend, it made sense. No wonder he was so strong. He might even be a special ops soldier. I don't need you to care about me. Who the hell knows you? Ziyu glared at Lin Yi, drawing a line between them. I was entrusted by your brother to take over your guardianship. It's compulsory, so you don't have the right to resist. Of course, I won't object if you want to resist, but I'm afraid you don't have the ability. Lin Yi could tell that a problem girl like Ziyu was the only way to deal with her. She wouldn't listen to a soft approach. And so, Lin Yi beating up Scar Bear and his men was the first step to showing his strength. After that, Lin Yi demanded Ziyu change this, and that, using a commanding tone, not a negotiating tone. He didn't want Ziyu to bargain with him. Why should I believe you? Ziyu had pretty much confirmed Lin Yi's identity by now. She'd never mentioned her brother's name to anyone, and with Lin Yi's skills, he was probably her brother's comrade. Lin Yi took out his phone and logged into an encrypted photo album. He found a picture of himself, Armadillo, Yang Huijuan and the others. Lin Yi kept these pictures in his photo album, rarely touching them. But since he wanted Ziyu to believe him, he had to show her some evidence. This is a picture of me with your brother 5 years ago. People like us don't take pictures often. Lin Yi lowered his voice so that only Ziyu could hear. This was taken at the end of the mission in North Africa. I was the captain, and your brother was my subordinate. Ziyu blinked. She didn't expect Lin Yi to be the captain. Didn't that mean he was even stronger than her brother? She took over Lin Yi's phone and looked at the picture. She had this picture too. It was always on her brother's table, so she wasn't unfamiliar with it. She just didn't pay attention to the other people in the picture. He held it in his hand and looked at it attentively. The person in the middle of the picture really did look like the Lin Yi in front of him, but a lot younger. A lot more childish. Ziyu paused. How old was Lin Yi 5 years ago? He didn't look older than 19 now. 5 years ago, wouldn't he be 13 or 14? Looking at the little boy Lin Yi in the picture, Ziyu couldn't help but smile. This is you. You're a little dumb. Ziyu looked at Lin Yi with a smile that wasn't a smile. Lin Yi didn't know what to say as he grabbed the phone. All right, now that we've confirmed your identity, listen to me from now onwards. I'll take you to dye your hair and buy some clothes. From tomorrow on, study hard. And if you dare come out and act like a big sister again, I'll. Lin Yi frowned. He couldn't think of a way to punish Ziyu. Lin Yi didn't have any experience dealing with a girl at all. He turned around and looked at Xiao Xiao for help. If she doesn't listen, you're going to spank her. Xiao Xiao said. If you don't listen, I'll spank you. Lin Yi nodded and repeated it to Ziyu. He felt that Xiao Xiao's idea wasn't bad, but it wasn't very appropriate. He didn't know what was wrong, so he didn't think too much about it. Ziyu's eyes went wide. Spank my butt? Ever since she was young, no one had ever spanked her, not even her eldest brother. Where did this inexplicable big brother's captain come from? He actually wanted to spank him? Didn't he know that men and women shouldn't touch? All of a sudden, Ziyu felt like she was going crazy. But thinking back to Lin Yi's merciless orders, Ziyu felt that Lin Yi really might spank her. Don't you dare. Ziyu glared at Xiao Xiao. Where did this girl come from? Coming out with such a dirty move? Why didn't he spank her? Ziyu didn't know that Xiao Xiao wasn't being spanked by Lin Yi, but by firecrackers. She was in an even worse state. You'll find out if you try. Lin Yi grabbed Ziyu by the collar like he was grabbing a little chick before looking at the students behind her. All right, disperse. You're so young, yet you're still trying to act like a big brother in the underworld? Go back to your studies. Ziyu's lackeys didn't dare say anything as they watched their big sis get grabbed. This guy was a cruel psychopath. Just one word and he'd start a fight. Didn't they see how arrogant Scar Bear was? He was beaten to the point that he didn't even look human. He probably wouldn't be able to get out of bed for at least a year or two. And these people were just students. Naturally, they weren't as cruel as Scarbear. Even Scarbear's lackeys ran away. How could they go against Lin Yi? Chapter 1262. It was this pretty boy. This area belonged to the North District. And Scarbear was someone Guangbro had just helped get to his position. Now that he was crippled, it'd be weird if Guangbro didn't bring his men to take revenge. Ziyu didn't want to be controlled by Lin Yi, but she didn't want anything to happen to her men. She thought of a good idea. Nan Feilong was unreliable now, and if she wanted to survive in Fushan, she had to get rid of Guangbro. No matter how powerful Fushan Middle School was, it was nothing compared to Guangge, who was in the underworld. I can go with you, but the trouble you've caused isn't over yet. Those people are going to call for reinforcements, and Guangbro will come looking for trouble later. I can't just leave my men here. Of course, if you can take care of Guangbro, I'll go with you, Ziyu said as she broke free from Lin Yi's grip. Huh, what Guangbro? But that's fine, we'll wait. Lin Yi didn't care about this Guangbro at all. In Songshan, Lin Yi could even beat up Qibing and Sihua. What was Guangbro to him? You're a secret agent. But let me tell you, no matter how strong you are, you can't beat a group of people. They have guns. Ziyu reminded him kind-heartedly. This guy was annoying and a busybody, but Ziyu didn't want him to die just like that. You don't have to worry about that, Lin Yi said faintly. At this time, on the other side of the school field, a group of people surrounded a young man in a black trench coat and walked over here. Ziyu sis, it's Long Bro, one of Ziyu's lackeys said quickly. Ziyu's eyes darkened. Nan Feilong, that two-faced bastard. Scarbear had left, but he had come. Ziyu, you didn't expect this, did you? You managed to get reinforcements? Nan Feilong spoke in a strange tone even before he got close. It was obvious that he was well informed. News of Lin Yi teaching Scarbear a lesson had already reached his ears. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said such things. Nan Feilong, if you're not going to help me, can't I find someone else? Ziyu puffed her chest out. For the first time, she felt that Lin Yi's appearance was a good thing. She could deal a blow to Feilong. Bitch, looks like you've already hooked up with someone else. A ruthless glint flashed across Nan Feilong's eyes. He lifted his head and looked at Lin Yi. Pretty boy, you're finished. You hit Scarbear, and Brother Guang is rushing over with his men. You're dead meat today. Ziyu, who's this idiot? Lin Yi had clearly heard Ziyu call him Feilong, but he still repeated it. Evidently, Lin Yi didn't care about Feilong at all. It's summer, and you're still wearing a windbreaker? Isn't he afraid of getting heat rash? Puffed. Ziyu couldn't help but chuckle. That was quite a sarcastic thing to say, but it made sense. This Feilong was always trying to act cool, thinking that he was Su Wenxiang just by wearing a trench coat, walking around the school like he was Su Wenxiang. She didn't think much of it before, but Feilong's betrayal today made Ziyu feel like this guy had a pointy mouth and cheeks, and he looked like an extra in a TV show. It was quite comical. Fuck. Pretty boy, you don't need to be cocky. Guangbro will be here soon, and you'll die then. Feilong hemped coldly. He didn't want to argue with Lin Yi. After all, he'd heard of Lin Yi's strength, and he knew that he wasn't a match for Lin Yi. He chose to endure it for now, waiting for Guangbro to come, and then Lin Yi would be a dead dog. I was going to wait for him even if you didn't say anything. Lin Yi looked at Feilong. This idiot was on Lin Yi's list of people he needed to get rid of. He heard Scarbear say that this guy likes Ziyu, and he'd make him a eunuch too. He wasn't a good guy anyway. A mocking smile appeared on Feilong's lips. As far as he was concerned, Lin Yi didn't know the difference between heaven and earth. Guangbro was a man with a gun, and no matter how strong Lin Yi was, he'd still be dead in front of a gun. Lin Yi, honey, this guy's so annoying. He doesn't look like a good guy. Why don't you take care of him? Xiao Xiao pointed at Feilong. Oh, I'll let that Guangbro take care of him later. Lin Yi nodded. Ziyu's mouth twitched. This girl beside Lin Yi was pretty fierce, wasn't she? You can kill whoever you want. She wasn't a secret agent, was she? Feilong's face was full of disdain. He didn't think that Lin Yi could do anything in front of Guangbro at all. One had to know that Guangbro was the boss of the North District, Someone who could shake up Songshan with a stomp of his foot. A minibus rushed toward Fushan Middle School, and Filong Nan's eyes flashed with a trace of joy. The minibus stopped at the entrance of Fushan Middle School. Once the door opened, more than 30 youths jumped out. Each of them was much more mature and ruthless than the people Scar Bear had brought. These people were probably real gang members, probably the backbone of Brother Guang's underlings. He had brought all of them in order to keep up appearances. What's going on? Who beat up Scar Bear? Who dares to cause trouble in Guangbro's territory? Do they want to die? A blonde-haired youth walked over with a bunch of bulky men. Feilong's eyes lit up when he saw Guangbro. He sprinted towards Guangbro. In his heart, he had his own plans. It seemed like Scar Bear wouldn't be able to get out of the hospital for at least a year or two. But the North District's Fushan High area needed a new boss. And so Filong saw an opportunity. If he grasped this opportunity well, then he might very well become the boss of Fushan High. Among all the forces around Fushan Middle School, he was the most powerful. And so Filong was very attentive, running up to Guangbro as soon as he arrived. Guangbro, it's this pretty boy. It's that Ing Ziyu, that bitch, got her help. Filong was a cunning man, immediately identifying Lin Yi as Ziyu's lover. This way, Ziyu would be a piece of trash, and Guangbro wouldn't be interested in her. Once Lin Yi died, wouldn't Ziyu be his plaything? You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.